This is a Miami Sports Music Podcast Network production. This is the #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers.
I know the whole city right. A little early, it's a bit surprising.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy, Stephen D, and we are live on Clock Blockers, home of the #1 Miami fan morning show right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. I'm your host, Stephen D. What's up? How y'all doing? Are y'all ready for Throwback Thursday? I'm ready. I hope you're ready too. Good morning to all my Finlaws and my family right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? I'm your host, Stephen D. You can follow me on all social media at Stephen D. SKPL. Spread kindness, positivity, and love. You can also follow Miami Sports Music on all social media platforms at Miami Sports Music and on Twitter at MIA Sports Music. Hey, look, are y'all ready? Hey, look, on your way in today, make sure you do me a big favor. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. No, I'm serious. Subscribe. Seriously. It's the only way you're going to be able to interact with us today because I just put on subscriber mode. So subscribe to the channel. We have 560 subscribers, which means we are 440 subscribers away from 10,000 subscribers. 460 subscribers away from 10,000 subscribers. I need your help. Spread the word. Let people know, hey, look, subscribe. You see this cool, awesome channel? Subscribe. Let's go. Make sure y'all do that. Also, make sure when you do subscribe, you hit the bell notification. That way you get alerted every time we go live or anytime new music drops from Solo D, anything whatsoever. Just make sure you hit that alert bell, okay? It's a big deal. All right. Hey, look, if you guys want to sign up and become a member of the family today, there are plenty of seats waiting at the table for you. We'd love to see it. All right. I put the link in the description or in the chat box. You guys can use it there. We'd love to see you sign up. Can we get 2 new members to the family today? 2 new members. Let's go. 2 new members. Sign up, join now, become a member of the family, get access to perks, stuff like that. This is the last week that I'm traveling for a few weeks. So I plan on doing some subscriber only stuff as well as member only stuff during the weeks and weekends. So make sure you're a member. We got some cool stuff coming up for you. Also, hey, look, you want to help the channel grow by donating? There's a few different ways you guys can do that, and ladies can do that. Number one, you guys can donate through the YouTube Super Chat, which is the $ below the bottom of the chat. Every dollar counts. And just to let you guys know, hey, look, it's a big deal when you guys donate to the channel. It's Throwback Thursday. Tomorrow's Spread Kindness Friday. Can we have 2 back-to-back amazing days? I want to have a goal today, $500 donation goal, okay? If we hit $500 donation for the next 2 days, I will give away an autographed item to a random winner, to anybody who donated. Anybody. So if you donate today and tomorrow, and we reach $500 each day, I will give away a random person who donated an awesome Miami Dolphins autographed item. Okay? So please donate to the channel, help the channel grow. You guys can use YouTube Live Super Chat. You guys can use Cash App, which is MSM Podcast Network, or use the QR code on your screen. You guys can use PayPal, which is the MSM Podcast Network. Or use the QR code that's on your screen. So please do that. It goes such a long way into helping the channel grow, and we want to do that. We can't do that without your help. So please donate to the channel. It's a big deal. Want to give a big shout out to our sponsors of the show, ZSM Sports. ZSM Sports is absolutely amazing. The #1 place to get your cards, jerseys, balls, and hard-to-find items. ZSM Sports is the place to be. Make sure you follow Zachary on Instagram and Facebook, and make sure you hit him up. Hangry Owls, good food, good mood, craft subs and salads, and they have great desserts too. Let me tell you, Hangry Owls at 16606 Sheridan Street in Pembroke Pines, Florida. Make sure you give them a call before you come in. That way they'll have all your subs and everything ready at 305-279-5332. And make sure you give Hangry Owls a follow at HANGRYALS. Vasosaur. You want a little Vasosaur this morning? Official beer of Clock Blockers, born and raised, a beer created for the fans, by the fans, a little Vasosaur brewing company. We're going to have Vasosaur at the party this Sunday night at East 32. It's going to be good stuff. So make sure you have Vasasor. You got Born and Raised, the official beer of the Miami Dolphins and the official beer of Clock Blockers. Hey, you can't go wrong with either or. Hey, you need a place to sit this Sunday night? You want to go to the game? You want to get good ticket prices? A great place to sit.com is the place to get your tickets. If you go to a great place to sit.com, you will see all the ticket prices there. And the price you see is the price you get. There are no added service or ticket fees, which is great. And I'll do you one better. If you use that ticket, if you give them a call at 954-989-7979 and use the code word DWA, Dolphins with Attitude, you will get 5% off on your tickets. You can't go wrong with that. So if you want to go to any ticket, any concert, any event, a great place to sit.com is the place to go. And last but certainly not least, the title sponsor of the show, Tail Greeter. We love some Tail Greeter. Download the free app on your current Apple or Android device today, or Crapple device, whatever one you got. It's all good. Make sure you download the free app on your current Apple or Crapple or Android device today on your phone, and look up East 32 Dolphins Tailgate and go to the best tailgate around. It's good stuff. All right. It's Throwback Thursday. All-time Steelers versus Dolphins, celebrity NFL picks. So without further ado, let me bring in the co-host for me this morning, my brother from another mother. I love this man. You know him. You love him from East 32. Cameron Scott. What's up, Cameron?
What's going on, man? Good morning. How are you, Steve?
How are you?
I'm doing good. Finally a little relaxed over a very hectic fan club weekend.
It was. I saw you went out to dinner last night with Mark Angelo. Looks like you guys had a good time.
Yeah, I wanted to take him out. It's stone crab season just opened here. October.
I was a little jealous. I saw it. I was like, man, y'all were eating good, man.
Yeah, those California folks don't know what hit them, man, last night.
I mean, if I had went there, you would have had to crack those stone crabs open for me, because my tiny fingers, they wouldn't have been good. It wouldn't have been good for me at all. It looked delicious.
We won't go. It was delicious. Shout out to Gigi's and our friend Russ Dixon, who's the general manager over there. Gigi's on the water in Hollywood, which is right across the street from the Hollywood Beach Marriott.
Hey, Tamaris, we're about to bring in our girl Tamaris, so I'll let you introduce her. Go ahead, Cameron. Introduce our special guest of the day.
Yeah, so our celebrity Thursday celebrity pick is in our weekly celebrity is the star of F-Boy Island 2 from HBO Max and Family to Me. Tamaris, how you doing this morning?
Hey, I'm doing good. I'm here. I'm alive.
You're alive? Where were you? What happened? Did you almost die? Is that you're alive? What happened? Let us know.
No. Nothing happened that crazy. No.
Oh, hey. You know how, hey, look, I understand LA can get a little wild. Are you in LA or are you in Florida?
No, I'm in Florida.
Okay.
I got back on Monday night, but I was in New York. So.
Okay, so are you partying with us on Sunday night? That's a long pause, Tamaris. Too long.
Let me know, Tamaris.
I thought I was going with Amanda. No. I thought we were going somewhere this weekend on the 22nd. We planned this.
I don't know. Call my wife.
Okay.
It's a family thing, Steven.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
I forgot. We're too good. I got you. I understand. I see it. Now, just so y'all know, Saturday, they're throwing a huge beach bash at Hollywood Beach.
Say that 3 times fast, Steven. Say that 3 times fast, Steven.
Beachside bash. Beach bash. At the Riptide Hotel on Hollywood Beach. The UK guys are throwing it. I don't know what time it starts.
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock. It's October 22nd. It will also be my wedding anniversary, and my wife will be there. She's coming down with me this weekend, first time all year. So we get to celebrate our wedding anniversary at a beach bash.
Don't let me get in your wife's ear. We got some things to talk about.
Whoa, not me. I'm perfect. What are you talking about? All right. We got Celebrity NFL Week 7 games coming up. Cameron,
can we talk about Week 6?
Can we talk about Week 6?
Yeah, can we talk about Week 6?
Yes, let's talk about Week 6 before we get into Week 7.
Because it was quite a decisive victory for our celebrity prognosticator here.
Okay.
Steven was 6-8.
I'm always 6-8 or 7-7.
I was 7-7, and Tamaris kicked our asses at 9-5.
What?
Oh, yes. What?
What? Hold on. Let me just.
I'm so happy.
Well, Tamaris, hey, look, that's why we do this every week, to see how good we are compared to her. So, hey, look, this is the first week you've
Okay,
won?
I had a strategy last week, though.
What was your strategy last
I
week?
can't tell you because I'm going to use it this week, and I don't want you to. I'll tell you after the season's over.
Okay.
Yeah, after she whoops our butt for the season total.
I'm like writing down what
I think I'm going to do great this weekend. This is the best weekend I'm ever going to have. It's going to be this weekend. Okay.
Well, let's get it rolling, Steven. What do you got? Who you got? Let's start with Tamaris, and we got the Saints visiting the Cardinals in Arizona. That's
Thursday night football tonight.
That is tonight.
Saints.
So Tamaris is rolling with the Saints, even though they have no clue who's going to be under center.
Yeah.
Steven?
Arizona, man. Kyler Murray, I think, is going to do. They're home. They're going to do good. I'm going with the Cardinals.
I think the demise of the Cardinals is going to further down the road. I think Taysom Hill is going to run all over him tonight, and I'm taking the Saints.
You're taking the Saints?
I'm taking the Saints.
What? Oh, I hope I win.
There's your opportunity. We'll leave Sunday Night Football to the end here, but so we got Cleveland, the Brownies visiting the Ravens in Baltimore.
Ravens.
Tamaris with the Ravens. Steven?
This one's going to be a very interesting game because I don't have any faith in Baltimore to hold leads this year. But it's the Cleveland Browns. And who else do you get worse in the NFL than the Cleveland Browns? I mean, there's some other teams down there, but I feel like the Cleveland, I would never want to be a fan of any team named Cleveland in it. I'm just saying.
This is an accurate statement, Steve.
So I'm going to go with the Ravens. I think the Ravens are going to pull this out.
I will as well.
Ooh, okay.
So we have the under litigation led Tom Brady team of the Buccaneers going to the Carolina Panthers.
I'll be quiet.
Buccaneers.
Okay. So I was about to say I didn't want to give anything away for Tamaris's pick. The Carolina Panthers, who just fired their head coach, and he's still getting paid $68 million.
No.
Got fired and still that's crazy.
Who's the real F boy there?
I'm about to say. Hey, we're gonna let you go, but we got to honor your contract. Here's your $68 million. Have a nice day. That's crazy to me.
Imagine being not wanted badly enough where they don't care about 68. They'll give you $68 million to get out the door.
Think about that. They don't want you so bad that they are willing to get rid of you over $68 million. That's insane.
Insane.
But Tom Brady going through a divorce with Giselle. Okay, that's a big deal. I'm going Tampa Bay. I gotta go Tampa. Tampa's the better one. Hey, Wayne from UK is watching. What's up, Wayne?
What's up, Wayne? Good morning from Key West.
Love
Those
it.
guys are tearing up Key West. I'm surprised that they have Wi-Fi in the jail that they're at.
Some of them, just so you know, some of the UK guys split off this week, and some of them went to Vegas. So they're doing every Vegas hotel and casino, which is 22 of them on the strip. They're trying to do it in 24 hours. So they're crossing it off and they're updating it on Facebook. So I think they've hit 16 of the 22 hotels.
Yeah, man, that is outstanding. So Tampa Bay at Carolina. You took Tampa Bay, Steven.
Yeah, who are you taking?
As did Tamaris. I'm going to go with the PJ Walker-led Carolina Panthers.
What?
Because that's how much I hate Tom Brady. The mush pickle.
Okay. All right.
Moving on. The Atlanta Falcons going into Cincinnati with Joe Burrow.
Buccaneers.
That's the Falcons or the Bengals.
I'm sorry. I have mine listed. Okay. Bengals.
I like how she picks them.
I like it.
She's taking it seriously.
No,
she is.
I
One thing you don't know about Tamaris, she does not like to lose,
No.
which is obvious.
I'm
What
sorry,
happened
I'm a
in the great
sore
episode.
loser. I am not the most happiest loser. I am sore.
You're a sore winner and a sore loser. I get it, Tamaris. I understand. I mean, come on. It's the Bengals and the Falcons. And what's the point spread? Do we know the point spread for this?
Yeah, so Bengals at Falcons. So the Falcons, Cincinnati is giving 6.5.
I want to go with Atlanta, but I know Cincinnati will win. But I think Atlanta's going to win. I'm going with Atlanta. Screw it. I'm going with Atlanta.
I mean, Atlanta did go into San Francisco and beat up San Francisco.
I'm going with Atlanta. Atlanta's going to beat Cincinnati.
I think it'll be a tight ball game that Cincinnati and Joe Burrow squeaks out in the end.
Let's go, Marcus Mariota.
So in the big Dallas, the big star, the return of Dak Prescott, Detroit goes in with a 1-win record into Dallas. Who do you got, Tamaris?
Cowboys.
Steven?
Detroit.
Let me write that down quickly before you can change your mind.
Now, man, I'm going Detroit. I don't think Dak's going to have a good game. It's his first game back. I think Detroit's going to prove something. I think they're I don't think they're a great football team, but I think that they're better than people give them to be. And so I'm going Detroit. I'm going Detroit over Dallas. Talking about me, Ken?
No, me.
No, me. I'm not talking about anybody else on this panel.
Dak Prescott is going to prove that he is QB1. Detroit cannot stop the run, and Dallas, I think, has a balanced attack and puts up about a 40-burger on Detroit.
Wow. Okay. Well,
and wins the game.
Detroit.
So here's an interesting game. We got the Giants, who are suddenly, the darlings of the NFC East, with a 5-1 record, going into Jacksonville, and the Giants are 3-point underdogs.
Giants.
That's crazy. Tamaris?
Giants.
I'm going Giants too.
Giants have been doing with smoke and mirrors. Even though they're an improved team, Saquon Barkley is really good. They're putting him up the most points in the fourth quarter any team in the NFL. I'm taking the Giants.
I just want to throw something out there too. Christian McCaffrey's going to end up on the Giants with Saquon Barkley. I'm just throwing that out there. I believe that's where Christian McCaffrey ends up.
Interesting.
Yep.
I'm gonna stew on that one. Get back to you here in the next hour on that. We got the Indianapolis Colts.
Who did you pick?
I picked the Giants.
Okay. All
right. You got the Indianapolis Colts going into Tennessee. Tennessee is giving 2.5. It's pretty. This is a good game.
Titans.
I mean, the over/under is 42, which I'm taking the under all day long, right?
Yeah, especially with the two quarterbacks that they have.
You're taking the Titans, Tamaris?
Yeah.
Right.
I'm going Colts.
Colts.
I just want to pick all against Tamaris' team. I want to see Tamaris lose.
Going
down, Tamaris. Going down. I'm not going to let 2 weeks in a row happen. Not going to get upstaged on my own show.
Just let you know if I end up going down, I'm not coming next week.
No, don't do that. No. You're the only reason I have watchers today. That's it.
You.
Oh, that's funny. And I believe Taylor's back for the Colts this weekend, which is a big deal. So I am going to hedge this bet and go with the Colts.
Okay.
So that's an opportunity for Tamaris to beat us both there.
Yeah.
Green Bay going into Washington, and it's very important to know.
Don't say anything before Tamaris makes her pick. Do
I
not.
already got picks here. I can't cheat.
Okay.
I'm not writing anything. So Packers, so I could say it so that you don't feel like I'm going to cheat.
Green Bay. Very good. Yeah. Steven.
I would look, here's some real stuff. The fact that Green Bay lost last week to the Jets amazes me. Like, didn't see that coming in any way, shape, or form. Upset of the week, in my opinion. But are the Commanders good enough to beat the Packers? No way. So we're definitely going Green Bay.
So Washington is getting 5 points at home.
They're favored?
No, they're getting 5 points.
I was like, what? Oh, okay. The Commanders suck, bro.
But they suck with Carson Wentz.
You think they're going to do better with Heineke? He's
done it before. And he's going to do it again. Upset of the week, the Commanders over the Packers.
Wow. That's a big deal, bro. No way. No way.
Yeah, way, man.
I'm not coming back on my own show. What are you talking about?
Dude, Carson Wentz doesn't even know who Terry McLaurin is. Watch Heineke connect to McLaurin at least a couple touchdowns this game.
That'll be crazy.
I love it because I hate Green Bay.
All right, next.
The New York sucks versus Denver.
Talk about the worst game of the week, by the way.
Denver at 2-4 at home versus the 4-2 Jets, and Denver's favored by a point.
And those odds makers. Go ahead, Tamaris. Floor is yours.
Well, after I hear that, but like, I'm not going to change my mind
No.
now. I'm not going to change my mind. I'm not going to change. I'm going to pick the Jets. It's here. I wrote it. It's fine. But after I got that information, obviously I did not want to go for them, but I'm going to stick to what I wrote. So yeah.
That's smart.
Look, here's the reality of the situation. Russell Wilson had no business coming back. He should have retired or should have stayed in Seattle. One of the two. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The fact that he went to Denver is crazy. Anybody who told me that Denver was going to be a good football team this year, yeah, okay. I don't care that I said that Vegas was going to be good. Y'all thought Denver was going to be good, okay? That's ridiculous, all right? And I knew it wasn't. I knew Russell Wilson was going to have a bad year. I said it at the beginning of the year. I screamed it at the top of the mountaintops, and I was right. Wasn't right about a lot of stuff this year, but I was right about that. So, yeah, I think the Jets are going to win, unfortunately, and I think they're going to win big. Because Denver sucks.
Man, you were screaming about the Raiders from that same mountain.
I was, but I was right about 50% of it. So what do you want?
I'll take the New York Jets begrudgingly.
Yeah, me too. So I hate.
Speaking of your Raiders.
They're
at home giving 7 points to the Texans.
Oh, bro, they're take that all day, just so you know. Go ahead, Tamaris. Who do you got?
Texans.
You picking the Texans? We couldn't hear you. We can't hear you over there, Tamaris. You're not speaking into the mic.
That's what I'm picking. Yes.
Houston. Okay. See, what happens when you pick colors over team. Okay, because I know that's what you're doing.
Hey, she did go 9-5, so something's working, buddy.
And if Texans beat Raiders,
that might be the one lose I have, and then all of them are win.
One. Okay.
Like one. Okay. So relax.
All right.
And let me remind you, it's the battle of the 1-win teams.
Well, just so y'all know, I'm going Vegas. Let's go. Let's go, Raiders.
Yeah, I'll go with the Raiders as well.
Okay. That's my one loss. We know this.
Seattle goes into the Chargers. LA Chargers.
Seahawks.
I'm going Seattle too. I do not like Justin Herbert. I do not like the Chargers. They went toe-to-toe in overtime last week against the Broncos. Are you kidding me? Seattle's about to come in. They're going to score 30 on them. Let's go Seahawks.
Someone said I'm going based off the key. The
QB looks. Chase one. You're looking up all the quarterbacks. No. No.
That's too much work.
Too much work.
I'm going to take the Chargers.
No. You have fun with that.
You're going to lose.
With that one.
There's a bunch of dog games this week, aren't there?
Horrible games in the NFL this weekend.
Kansas City goes into San Francisco,
Ooh.
Which is interesting.
Game of the week.
San Francisco's 3-3.
Chiefs.
San Fran is coming off a loss, right?
No, they beat. They came off a loss. They lost to Atlanta at home.
Yeah. Kansas City's obviously the better team, okay? But San Francisco's been finding ways to win games this year. Now, they lost to a team that they had no business losing to this past Sunday. But I think they're good enough. I don't know. I'm going Kansas City, but I will not be surprised if San Francisco pulls it out. Let me just throw that out there.
So which one are you picking?
I'm going Kansas City.
All right. I'm going to take KC as well. That's kind of a no-brainer in me.
I'll be surprised if San Francisco pulls it out.
San Francisco's getting 2.5 at home, by the way.
Yeah,
which is a lot closer than I would have expected.
A lot closer. On a Patrick Mahomes team? Are you kidding me?
And another dog game from Monday Night Football. All these primetime games just horrible. Yeah. The Chicago Bears go into the Zappies and the Patriots.
Bears.
The Bears.
Atta girl.
Fuck the Patriots.
Hey, I am not mad at that. No swear jar for you. That's good. Man, Zappy's been winning games though, man, and I don't know how he's been doing it. But Justin Fields, I'm going Chicago because I want to see Chicago win. So the Bears.
I'm writing the Bears. I'm from Chicago. I'm a Bears fan as well as a Dolphins fan. It's hard for me to root against Chicago, but man, New England
they're hot right now, bro.
They're playing well.
They are.
You're gonna pick the Bears. Let's be real. Don't
come on, Cameron. Don't do it, Cameron. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Taking the Patriots. Hey, the guy who took the Vikings last week against our hometown Dolphins. So who won there?
Okay.
And speaking of the Dolphins, they get QB1 back.
Let's go, baby.
Hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers. Sunday Night Football.
The Steelers.
Dolphins?
Yep.
Dolphins big. QB1's back. Tua's back. Y'all know how I feel about it. I'm going Miami all day long, and it's going to be fun to be there live. It's going to be a party. Tamaris, you better be there. You don't want to miss it because it's going to be a party at East 32 all night long. Sorry.
Celebration of the
undefeated season.
Yes. Team. So they're going to do the on-field celebration and commemorating the 50th
Larry
anniversary.
Baca, Mercury Morris, Bob Greasy. Everybody's going to be there. The whole team. And a lot of, and by the way, a lot of former Miami Dolphins just in general are going to be there. Sean Wooden was telling me almost all the alumni of the Miami Dolphins big-time players are going to be there this weekend.
Including Stephen D. I'm taking Miami.
I didn't play for the Dolphins. I wish I did. I played center guard tackle. I sat in the center of the bench. I guarded the water, and anybody who got the water, I tackled them. Center guard tackle. That's
So, Tamaris, call the wife, see what you guys got going on this weekend. But I know you probably got a roll, right?
Yeah, my boss is calling me right now.
Your boss is blowing you up.
Yeah.
We thank you. Thanks for kicking our ass last week in week 6. Good luck to you in week 7.
Yes.
And we'll see you soon.
Okay, bye, guys.
And that's how you do it. That's how you make butter.
Boom. Out.
Churn it.
The door.
What's up, baby?
What up, man?
What's going on?
QB1's coming on. Like I'm super excited. I agree with you. Like, I think that this team rolls. I think, and from what I'm being told or what I've read is Waddle will be in the starting lineup. That injury to his shoulder looked a lot worse than it in real time than it came out to be. He practiced yesterday. He's going to practice today. So I'm excited for that. I think our offensive line gets a little healthier. So we got that going for us. What we don't have going for us is a defensive backfield. Byron Jones out again. Needham season-ending injury. Kader Kahu is questionable. Keon Crossan is questionable.
They're saying likely he's going to play.
Crossan
and Cater are likely to play.
Yeah, so that's important. But I will say, and we can discuss this, and I'm sure there's a lot of people over here in the chat that are going to have opinions about this. But Noah played a pretty good game Sunday.
Yeah. All right, real quick before we get into Sunday's game, let's go into all-time Dolphins versus Steelers. It is Throwback Thursday. You're wearing the throwback logo on your chest. I like that. The Dirty Sportswear. I need that. That's shout out to Dirty Sportswear. All right. So Pittsburgh lead the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Miami Dolphins all time. The Pittsburgh Steelers lead the series 15 games to 13 games. They are 15-13. No ties in the history. The very first game came in 1971, where the Miami Dolphins won 24-21 in Miami. The very next time they played was in the undefeated season in the AFC Championship game, where obviously the Miami Dolphins won 21-17. And the Dolphins and the Steelers didn't beat the Dolphins till 1976. Was the very first time that they beat them, and they beat them 14-13. And for the most part throughout the years, it was lopsided more towards Miami, but it hasn't been till since 1993. The Dolphins have only won 2 times against the Steelers since 1993. And those 2 games, the first game that the Dolphins won came in 1995. The Dolphins won 23-10 in 1995 in September. And the last time the Miami Dolphins beat the Pittsburgh Steelers came on 1998. It says 21-0. Actually, this is very interesting. I feel like the Dolphins beat the Steelers close in that one game where they went up the sidelines. And I thought that Pittsburgh almost won, but he stepped out of bounds. But he ended up not doing it, right?
I believe that was 2016. It was a snow game. I was supposed to be at that game. And
all right, never mind. You're right. Yep, 2016, 30-15. There we go. I didn't scroll up far enough. My bad. Okay, but still. So since 1993, the Dolphins have won 4 times since 1993. And the Steelers have won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Steelers have won 10 times to the Dolphins 4 since 1993. Wow, that's a lot. So it's been at the beginning in the 70s, the Dolphins won mostly, but in the last 15, 20 years, 25 years, it's been Pittsburgh dominating us. So hopefully that doesn't go that way on this Sunday night. I don't think that it will. But are there any games that stick out to you in the history, Dolphins, Steelers?
No, growing up, I was always, I like the Steelers, because of Franco Harris and, that offensive line and defensive line. They had the linebackers that were fierce, Jack Lambert, Jack Ham. Their safety, Mel Blount, was one of the, hardest hitters in NFL in the 70s. And Terry Bradshaw to Lynn Swann was, the stuff that we wanted to watch week in and week out, kind of like, Mahomes to Tyreek last year or past few years. It's must-watch TV. So it was exciting to see those teams of yesteryear. But none of the games really stick out to me other than the Franco Harris game. And I can't recall any Dolphins-specific Steelers games that really stick out. But other than, I think it was Sunday Night Football, and I can't recall the year, maybe 2004 or 5. And the Steelers were here. I believe it was Sunday Night Football. And it rained so hard that they had to stop the game. And there was water like gushing down the stadium steps in Hard Rock Stadium. I'll never forget that. There was flooding out in the parking lot. And it was just a crazy mess of a game. I want to say it might have been postponed or something. They finished the game later on that evening. But just just crazy situation. That's the only thing I remember on the Steelers Dolphins game.
Well, unfortunately, one of the ones that I remember is picking up Solo D from the airport for the playoff game and driving the trekked 8 hours from Baltimore to Pittsburgh for the playoff game back in 2016. Was super excited. We did not have tickets for the game. We're like, we'll just get them when we get there. It's not a big deal. And it wasn't a big deal because Steeler fans, and I quote, said, "Oh, tickets for the wild card round are cheap because Steelers are used to being in the playoffs." So literally 30 minutes before kickoff, Solo, Ali, and Ali's wife and kid, we got tickets for $50 a pop, 11 rows from the field in the end zone for a playoff game, for the wild card game. It was negative 11 degrees at kickoff, no lie. Coldest game I've ever been to in my life. And we were down 21-0 in the first quarter. And so that was it. You know,
I want to tell you a good story. Where was I? It was, I had some really close friends that are season ticket holders for the Steelers. And I got invited to go, I think it was 1988 or 1997, where the Steelers were hosting. I think it was 98. The Steelers were hosting that game. And much like what you just described, it was frigid, like below zero. My pee was freezing in the freaking parking lot. It was so cold. But what I'll remember from that, and it was the first time I ever tailgated in Pittsburgh, and my friends live in the Monongahela Valley down in Charleroi, Belle Vernon area, which is like an hour away from the stadium. Started drinking before the sun came up to get to the stadium pretty much before the sun came up to start tailgating. And I was absolutely hammered before the sun came up. I really don't know that I watched much of the game or even got in the game because I don't remember. That's how ridiculous.
That's a good party, Cam. That's how
ridiculous that tailgate was. And I just remember like they would bring like 2x4s or I'm sorry, some not 2x4s, but sheets of plywood and just like nail them together in four sides and put them over the storm sewers, and that was your bathroom.
That is hilarious.
I'll never forget that, man.
That is hilarious.
Bros, listen, it was an awesome time.
Well, let me tell you something. Like, we got our butts whooped in that 2016 game, but we had a blast at the tailgate. And you know, after the first quarter, we knew, like, I'm not gonna lie, we knew it was over. It was 28-0 by the second quarter. It was like, well, you know, it's been real.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks, exactly. But you know, and I'm trying to remember the box. Here's the box score, I think. Is this the box score? Yeah,
you know, I'm just looking up that game that I went to. The Steelers actually won 7-6. That's how cold and windy it was because no one could play.
So Antonio Brown got a 50-yard pass from Roethlisberger in the first quarter and a 62-yard pass from Ben Roethlisberger in the first quarter. He killed us. It was bad. It was 14-0. Then they scored another touchdown, but missed the extra point in the second quarter. So it was 20-0 by the it was 20-0 by the second quarter, and then they scored again in the third. Le'Veon Bell scored 2 touchdowns in that game too. And then Matt Moore came in that game, and I think Matt Moore got hurt in that game, and I'm pretty sure Tyler Thigpen came in at the end of that game.
Yeah, you're right.
Good old Tyler Thigpen.
The left-handed slinger from the University of Arkansas, I believe.
We stayed pretty much till the end, and with like 4 minutes left, we're like, okay, it's been real. We got to go get warm because we were freezing. It was so cold. But Steeler fans, for the most part, were good, but that's because it wasn't a game, and they were enjoying whooping our butts, and they were, you know, you'll get them next year. Yeah, okay. Good. But yeah, so I would like to see a Dolphins playoff game again. That would make me very happy. But let's get into the party for Sunday night. So last year, the Miami Dolphins hosted a Thursday night game home, the Baltimore Ravens, and that was a night tailgate. And that was a club atmosphere. And we've added some things this year, and some things have been upgraded over at East 32. I think the party's going to be 10 times better this Sunday night than it was last Thursday or last Thursday night last year, right?
It's going to be incredible. We've got some really cool things lined up. Our DJ who runs a whole production studio is, shout out to DJ Breezy Two Fly. Breezy. We might have a guest DJ also putting in a set that I may announce tomorrow, but still working those details out.
Is he a ninja?
He could be a ninja.
Okay, I'm excited about it.
Yeah. But anyway, so fog machines, light bars, the whole 9 yards. We're running a nightclub out there this Sunday. In addition, we theme the tailgate food towards the visiting team, or at least we try to. But this week we definitely are. And if you're familiar with a staple of the Pittsburgh sandwich scene, Permane Brothers does this very unique sandwich where they take sourdough and toast it and take pastrami, shaved pastrami and shaved turkey with Swiss cheese. And they put that on the bread with a fried egg. And then on top of that goes coleslaw, vinegar-based coleslaw. On top of that goes French fries.
Are you making a Roethlisberger?
That's not a Roethlisberger. Roethlisberger is different.
Okay.
But this is a Permane Brothers pastrami sandwich, and we're going to have those rolled out there on the grill this weekend.
I might have a couple of those. They're so good. I don't.
In addition, Pittsburgh has a particularly Eastern European ethnicity to the culture there in that region. A lot of Eastern European immigrants came to that area because of the similarities to their region back home. And along with that came pierogies. So we're going to be doing fresh potato and cheddar pierogies in a onion cream sauce out there. My God, it's going to be good.
Delicious. If you guys want tickets for that, I just put it in the chat, the tail greeter link for the tailgate. So make sure you guys get your tickets to the tailgate for the Steelers Dolphins game this Sunday night. So normally, most times games start at 1:00 in Miami and the tailgate starts at 9 a.m. When can people get to how does the tailgate work for a night game?
Same. It's 4 hours, gates open 4 hours prior to kickoff. Kickoff is at 8:20, I believe.
20 is kickoff.
And so I'm going to assume 4 to 4:30 gates will open. And so we're planning on having the bar open at 5 and food by 5:30.
And then I think we're going to be on from 5:30 to 6:30, I think is what we're going to do. I haven't decided yet. I'm trying to figure that out.
And I want to give a shout out to Chef Jew because I see Chef Jew in the chat. And man, those cupcakes he brought last weekend, fire! Come see us for Chef Jew personalized Miami Dolphins cupcakes.
They are good. They are delicious. Let me tell you, it's so great, and the atmosphere is going to be wild. We're going to be doing the pregame show, the tail greeter pregame show from there. And as always, I always have some amazing people from the YouTube community, Miss Finn's color commentary, Ali, Nikki Smokes. Hopefully we can get Nando in there.
Shout out to Nando. Where you at, Nando? Don't make me swing by your house and come grab you by the neck.
Yeah, so it's great to have the entire YouTube community come out and be a part of the Tail Greeter pregame show. It's one of the things I love most about it. And then the fans, obviously, right? We got the fans that are up here. Chef Zhu, Trucker Sean has been out here for a lot of the games this year. Crypto's been out there for a lot of the games this year. Von 954, Von Joe. Who else, man? I know Batman. Oh, I said Batman. Batman's part of the community too. He's been a big part of it. Shout out to Batman. Love that guy.
Color commentaries out there.
I already said color. I forgot Batman. I apologize, Batman. I didn't mean to forget you. Yeah, so it's been great. It's been awesome. Dolph Freaky usually shows up. 305 Sports Babe usually shows up.
And it's shout out to 305 Sports Babe. It's her birthday, and then we're gonna be doing a birthday shot for her around 6:30.
Okay, maybe you guys can do a 11-year wedding anniversary shot too. Just saying, my wife is here. We're definitely making. She is here for me for no other reason. I do not know if her idea of an 11-year wedding anniversary would be whatchamacallit, going to a Miami Dolphins game.
What's
But
good,
she's doing
Bonzo?
She's doing it. Yeah, man, it's going to be awesome. So Saturday is going to be the Riptide Hotel in Hollywood Beach. And then Sunday will be the Tailgate. You know what I love? That I get to party and drink all night on Saturday and don't have to get up first thing in the morning on Sunday. Like, I worked on 2 hours of sleep.
Speak for yourself, brother.
It was so bad. Do you like night games or day or 1 o'clock games better? 1 o'clock games, you just get it out the way, right? It's done.
Yeah.
It's over.
It's an all-day thing, though, right? And it's an all-day thing with night games, so it doesn't really matter. The only issue with night games is the cleanup afterwards. Like, for me, like, setting up and breaking down a tailgate is like, a pop-up restaurant, and someone's got to clean all that stuff when I get home and break down all the equipment and put it away and all that stuff. And that's usually at least a 2-hour process.
Yeah.
And so if that game ends, 12:30, 1 o'clock, like, I'm home at 3 a.m. cleaning, and neighbors don't like that too much.
Well, they need to know you're Cameron Scott. You're kind of a big deal.
They already know.
So let's talk a little bit before we go back to the game. NBA, NHL season kind of opened up. I don't know if you watched the games the last couple of nights. Just to talk a little NBA and NHL talk. We'll talk NHL talk first real quick. What do you think the Panthers, need to do this year to get to the finals? Because
they got a new coach. They got some new players. They just
can't get over Tampa.
What's that?
They can't get over Tampa Bay. They can't get over the Lightning.
Well, they that's the elephant in the room, right? They just need to beat Tampa in the playoffs. They got to get to the playoffs healthy. And speaking of which, Aaron Ekblad was just put on the IR long term with a groin injury, so he's out until at least December 1st. And that's going to be impactful to the team. So I'm interested to see how the rotations work early in the season, how the defensive scheme and how much they press. You remember last year's team under Coach Q and the other coach that took Coach Q's place. They were a prolific scoring team and would always get out ahead and then hang on. So and that kind of wore down the team, in my opinion. They didn't have the freshest of legs come playoff season. So I'm interested to see how this new coach makes adjustments and plays the long game, because it's a deep playoff caliber team. The roster is built for 3 or 4 lines deep, and with 2 very good, if not exceptional, goaltenders. So we're game 2. They won last night, so they're 1-1 on the season.
Hey, somebody just texted me and said they have a maroon parking pass for $100.
I'll take it.
I'll take it. I need it.
Take it. I thought you already had one.
I don't have one.
Take it.
Okay. I'm texting them now.
I mean, if that's the steal of the century. Although we'll discuss it later. So, but getting to the Heat, who lost last night to the Chicago Bulls. The Bulls just outplayed them. DeRozan dropped 19 in the third quarter. And Bulls are a good team. And so I don't, it's definitely not anything to hang your head about. Obviously, we want a Heat win. Goran Dragic plays for the Bulls now.
I know, it's crazy seeing him play for Chicago. Crazy. That Chicago team's no joke, by the way.
No joke. They're
going to be a contender this year. They're going to make a deep run in the playoffs.
Omar Castro says parking pass for 100. Damn, that's
cheap.
Expensive. That is cheap, my man. Omar,
cheap.
Let me tell you something. It's been at least over 200 for orange passes, and the maroon pass gets you your own lane and right up front VIP parking. Those things go for $500. So to get them for $100,
well, he's not responding to me, so we'll see what happens.
Because he's just sold it for $300, $400.
Probably.
But it was exciting to see the NBA. I'm really excited to see the Lakers suck. Because LeBron clearly should retire. He's done.
Oh my God, get out of here, bro.
Westbrook and Davis will be gone by the trade
You know
deadline.
what? No.
Yes,
Please, get out
it's
of here.
time to start rebuilding that Lakers team because
Let's get something straight. LeBron is still dropping 20+ points a game in his 20th year in the NBA. Y'all leave that man alone. That man
He
is
doesn't
still
even play 20 minutes a game.
He doesn't have to. He's got AD out there and Russell Westbrook. He doesn't have to.
Steven, wipe your glasses off because that is shit that's all over the front of him.
Oh my God, get out of here, man! You are such a hater on my man. You hate. I've never seen somebody hate on LeBron more than you.
I'm not hating. It's reality.
No. Let's get something straight. I get random text messages on my phone, on Instagram, and regular text. It doesn't matter what platform. I get random messages all the time from this guy. Hey, here's why Jordan's better than LeBron. Hey, Jordan's better than LeBron. Hey, I don't know if you know this, but Jordan's better than LeBron all the time. All the time.
As your advisor, Steven, that's my job to educate you.
LeBron all day, baby. LeBron is the best all-around player to ever play in the history of the NBA. Let's not go. Best all around. He's the best all around. He's the best all around. The man is going to finish in assist one and points scored when he's going to be Kareem. How do you not say he's not the best?
Because he doesn't have the rings.
Oh my God. He still got 4 of them and went to 11 finals.
How many has he lost?
It doesn't matter.
It does.
It does not.
No.
It does not matter. The man is a boss. Okay. Y'all can hate on my man all y'all want. We all know. G says Kobe just spit his coffee out.
Pretty much. So let's not go down that rabbit hole. I'm just saying that the Lakers have an uphill battle, and I'm going to be nice to you because Golden State
played against Golden State and lost to Golden State.
I'm not saying overall, Golden State is improved. The Suns are improved.
No, that's scary that they've improved and they won it all last year.
Denver's improved. Utah is improved. Listen, and Ja Morant in Memphis.
I know. I'm excited.
Guys are good.
And let's not forget Charlotte, right? Charlotte's got LaMelo Ball, and Jello Ball.
Let's not forget the Pelicans.
We
get Big Boy back, and he dropped 25 last night.
There are so many good teams in the NBA this year, and they're all fun to watch. A lot of them are fun to watch. You can turn on the TV any night for an NBA game and find a superstar. That's what I love about it.
So the stat of the night for me last night,
the NBA.
The stat of the night for me last night was exciting. The Orlando Magic, their first round draft pick, Banchero, I think he went to Duke or North Carolina, one of 3 rookies in his initial opening game to drop 25, have 8 rebounds and 8 assists.
Orlando is going to be no pushover either this year.
Really cool to see for them.
Bro, anytime you put on an NBA game this year, you will see a superstar on the court on one side or the other, if not both.
Steven, this is the first game of the season, correct?
I'm excited.
We're going to make a bet right now.
I don't bet. I do not bet.
We're going to wager.
We're not wagering.
What are you willing to wager?
Nothing.
If the Lakers don't make the playoffs? Because
I'm not saying that they are. I wouldn't make that bet anyway. Even
Dude.
If I was a betting man, I wouldn't make that bet because here's the thing. Here's the thing about Dougie Fresh says, check out my comment about your anniversary. I'll go back through and look at it. Stephen Luck is on your side. Guess what represents the 11th anniversary still? I am not kidding. So go to the Steelers game as what it is written. Yeah, boy, happy anniversary. I like it.
That's cool.
Might be something there, Dougie. I like it.
I like it, Doug.
Yeah, look, if you're asking me the Lakers and what I think is going to happen with them this year, I got the parking pass for Maroon for 100.
Dude, that is money. Is this somebody watching the show?
Sticky.
Finn Sticky?
Yeah. I already got it. Don't try to call him and undertake me. I'll give you 105 for it.
105. I give him 150 for it.
You better stop, man. I need a parking pass.
I don't need one. Thank you.
But I will tell you that if you find somebody who gets an orange one, I'll trade them the maroon one for the orange.
100%.
You know,
you got it.
He said he'll beat me on Saturday and give it. Okay. Awesome. Sorry. I'm doing that, and I still have to find one more ticket for my sister-in-law. So
one more game ticket?
Yeah, I'm sitting in the deep end. So I'm either gonna trade in my 2 tickets for 3 or just find another ticket close to ours, which if you know somebody or you can help me out with that, I'll do whatever.
Who's gonna lead the Lakers in scoring more this year? Who's gonna be
if AD stays healthy, it's gonna be AD. AD's gonna kill. AD's gonna be MVP this season if he stays healthy. If not, then all bets are off for the Lakers. All bets are off. And here's the thing about the Miami Heat, right? Like, to keep it Miami, like, I don't think they made enough offseason moves. I said that. I was like, if they don't, Yes, they did. Yes, they did. The rest of the NBA got better. Rest of the NBA got better, bro. I root for the Heat. I love them, but I'm just telling you, like, they didn't do enough this offseason.
That's hard.
It's debatable. It is debatable, but like the rest of the entire NBA got so much better this year.
Who cares about I'm just caring about the East,
bro. Chicago's
legit.
better. Chicago's better. Boston's better. Oh, Boston looked good. Boston looked good with an interim head coach. They look good.
So again, if the Heat are in the top 4 of the East, I'm good with that. That gets him, home court through the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I mean, if you're asking me who I'm picking 1 through 4, I'm going NBA.
So the Heat were 1 game away from the NBA Finals. Mind you, 2 years in a row, they were in the finals the year before. Remember,
I'm going this year. I'm going.
Please do not say the Nets.
No, I'm going. All right. Chicago 1, Boston 2. Sixers
and
3. Heat 4. Sixers got better than the Heat.
They got better just by getting rid of Simmons.
Well, they got PJ Tucker now too, dude.
Man, PJ Tucker is so overrated. He didn't do shit.
Bro, don't tell me that. All you need from him is 10 minutes a game. That's it. That's all you need. That's all you need for PJ Tucker.
If you can get him on the court for 10 minutes, he didn't even play like the last.
He doesn't need to be anything in Philly, bro. He doesn't need to be anything in Philly except 10 minutes a game, PJ Tucker. That's it.
He's not a difference maker.
He is a difference maker. And then you still have Giannis in the Bucks at 5.
Yeah, I mean the Bucks should be in the top 3.
And Cleveland's going to be good this year.
They got Spider.
Yep. Dude, the East is stacked. There will be teams that will not make it. They just won't
make it.
Oh, 100%. 100%. And the Knicks are decent too. And they're the worst. And we like they're not good enough to compete, but they're good enough to make the playoffs. Kings Dolphins 1989 says Heat 1, Celtics 2, Bulls 3, Sixers 4. Kevin Lee says you forgot the Bucks, Steven. They will be a top 4 team. Yep.
Yeah, I agree. So I think that
basketball talk on here is crazy.
I think it's Celtics, Bucks, Heat, Bulls.
Look, we try to talk all Miami sports. We just happen to talk about Dolphins most of the time.
Yeah, the Celtics are clearly the best team in the East.
Brian Ramirez says most of the East just got better, not the Heat. 100%, Brian. You hit the nail on the head. I'm telling you right now, if the Heat do not make an in-trade season move for a big-name player, they will not make the Eastern Conference Finals.
And here's why I think that's an inaccurate statement. You have the maturation process of some young players that really played really well last year. The expectation of these players to take the next step up, including Tyler Hero and Max Strus. You got a Kyle Lowry that's in better condition, who didn't finish the season. He was injured and really in poor condition last year. And I think those three players are going to be, the key to the Heat progressing. Bam Adebayo is getting better. Like, the guy's 25 years old and should have been the defensive player of the year last year. This kid that they drafted, Nikola Jovic.
Yeah. Same name as
legit.
Yeah.
Legit.
Yeah, he's legit.
So, and then Victor Oladipo, man, he didn't play last year because he's got a tweaked knee, but the guy's an all-star. Like,
yeah, not anymore.
He was
an all-star. That man's got to. You're talking about PJ Tucker staying healthy. Victor Oladipo needs to stay healthy.
Yeah, absolutely. But he's a defensive juggernaut too. Like, you can't forget how good he is defensively. So listen, it's about the Heat getting healthy, staying healthy, and continuing to, to foster their culture together as a team, because they do that very well. They're not a superstar-driven team. Jimmy Butler is the quietest superstar in the NBA. But and Coach Spo is probably one of the top 3 coaches in the NBA. So, you definitely put the Heat in the top 4.
Rob V says the Knicks are better than the Heat. I wouldn't go that far, sir. No. Sir. I would put the Heat at 4, 5, or 6, depending on.
They're a solid 4. You got to put the Celtics.
Celtics are the best team,
without a doubt.
Tatum is up for MVP of the league. That kid is for real, and I hate to see it because I hate any Boston team and I hate the Celtics. But Jason Tatum is legit an MVP of the NBA. Like, he's that good. He's that good. You're gonna argue with me on that?
I don't know that he's an MVP candidate,
bro. I would tell you right now, Tatum and what's the other dude's name in Boston? Why can't I think of his name all the time?
AJ Brown.
Yeah.
Brown.
No. Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown and Tatum 1-2. They are legit one of the best 1-2 combinations in all.
100%. But Tatum isn't a superstar they'll take over a game and win a game.
Man, I think he takes that next step this year, man. And I hate the Celtics. I hate them. I can't stand them. My wife loves them. My wife is a huge Celtics fan. I can't do it. I just it bothers me. Like, we're watching the game last night, and I'm like, Tatum again. Nope, Tatum again. Nope, Tatum again. Tatum had 35 points. Jaylen Brown had 35 points. Both of them. They had a combined 70 points. And
listen, Robert Williams is a truck inside.
Yo, bro, their defense is crazy good. So they're playing. Who are they playing? They were playing the Sixers. The Sixers didn't play bad, and they still got whooped. The Sixers did not play bad, and they still got whooped. There is no.
Here's my thing with Tatum. I'm not saying that he's a bad player at all. I want to see him do it consistently. I want to see him do it game in, game out, and be a superstar, right? Like, he disappeared in some playoff games last year. Like, if it weren't for Brown, the Celtics don't advance.
He did,
right? And so for me, for Tatum being the MVP conversation, which is in the same realm as Durant and what's his name from Golden State, and probably Booker as well. Those and Giannis, those guys are MVP candidates, right?
Well,
and so I want to see.
Don't forget Ja Morant. I think Ja Morant's in the MVP conversation this year too.
Ja Morant's ridiculous, right? Like, he's definitely top 10 player, top 5 maybe.
But they really don't have anybody else in Memphis. That's the problem. I mean, they have people there, don't get it twisted, but they don't have another superstar there.
So there was a good point there, but let's talk about the Celtics coach, and that was such a crazy deal that
I know.
They suspended
Udame, right? I can't say his name.
So who's their assistant? Who's the coach that's coaching that?
Palazero,
longtime Celtic assistant. Yep. So why would there be a drop off?
There's not. The guy's been with the team forever, and he knows the offense inside and out. He knows the players. The players already have a good rapport with him. It was an easy. They're going to be fine. Like, there will be no drop off. None.
Yeah, I don't understand the comment that says there'll be drop off long term. I just don't see it.
No, I don't either.
Just because he's not the head coach, doesn't mean he doesn't have contact for the team. You cannot tell me, and I know that he's not supposed to have contact with the team, but the guy's just not on some island, not talking to his team or coaches or having any kind of communication. That just.
What do you think about the Warriors?
The best team in the West by far.
Yeah. And they got better.
They did. They just signed Poole to long-term contract. And they got this kid who's a 7-foot rim wrecker that, God, where's his Warriors? What's his name? Because they never had that. They had Draymond Green in the middle, and he was overmatched. So.
Draymond doesn't even have to play 30, 40 minutes a game, and he's still going to make an impact on this team.
What's his kid's name? Because he is absolutely good. Andrew Wiggins came out of his mind last year in the playoffs. James Wiseman.
Yes. They play. So opening night, they played a lot of their rookies for a lot of minutes. They played a lot of their new young guys for a lot of minutes.
Wiseman is the kid I'm talking about. That kid.
Yeah. The kid is good. The kid is good. So look, I mean, I'm going to call it now. Steve Kerr, best coach and GM in all of NBA right now.
It's hard to argue with that. And we're not even talking about Klay Thompson, who's a straight assassin.
I know. What scares the hell out of me about them is that Klay Thompson and Draymond, significant drop off from where they were. And they're still good. Significant drop off from where they were 5 years ago. And they're a better team because they keep on just bringing in players, bro. They bring in dogs, just straight dogs.
You can't argue with this right here. DeRozan.
I will argue with it.
I put him on the same level as Tatum. How's that?
No way. Tatum's better than DeRozan, bro. Tatum is 10 times better than DeRozan. Tatum is top 4 player in the NBA. DeRozan's top 15. And there's a big drop off. I don't see any team from the West beating Golden State, though. Is there any team in the West that can compete with them in a 7-game series?
Golden State?
Yeah. Kevin Lee says Warriors, Mavericks, Suns, Utah, Denver, Minnesota, Memphis, and maybe Lakers fight for 7 and 8.
So you guys go look up Tatum and DeRozan's career stats.
I'm not worried about career stats. I know DeRozan's numbers are up there. We're talking about right now, and I'm telling you right now, Jason Tatum is top 4 player in the NBA, and DeRozan is top 15, maybe top 10. Currently, as is.
If you just take last year and not even the career, DeRozan had a better stat line. I'm just saying he's equal to Tatum.
I can't argue with that, but what I can argue with is I think Tatum is going to take another step up this year.
I mean, that's both these guys are exceptional, right? Like, Tatum averaged 35 points a game last year. DeRozan 37. That's bananas.
In the chat right now, would you rather have Tatum? Would you rather have DeRozan? In the chat, put it in the chat right now. Tatum or DeRozan? Guarantee you majority is going to be Tatum. Guarantee it.
Mavericks winning it all? Call off the season. Level 2.
I want them to win, but they're not competing with Golden State in a 7-game series, noob. You know they're not.
They're a one-trick pony, right?
They're good. I like them. They're good. Look at that. Tatum any day. There's no way DeRozan averaged 37 points per game. Tatum. Harry P said DeRozan. Greg.
So last year, he's right.
On Sundays.
He's right. That's this year's stats, and I was wrong. But still, over the course of the year, last year, DeRozan averaged 27.9, and Tatum was 26.9. Like, they averaged the same assists. Tatum had 3 more rebounds per game.
Let me ask you. I'll do you one better. Cameron. Do you think DeRozan will be top 4 in MVP votes?
Interesting.
Do you think DeMar DeRozan,
I'll say yes.
No way.
Because if the Bulls make the Eastern Conference Finals, absolutely.
0% chance that man is top 4 in MVP. You're going to sit here and tell me
over.
You ready? Here we go.
Over Tatum?
Tatum. He's not over Tatum. He's not going to be over Giannis. He's not going to be over Curry. And he's not going to be over my man from the Lakers, AD. There's 4.
AD's not going to be in the top 4.
Huh?
So Ja Morant
stays healthy. Caveat. He stays healthy. Guaranteed top 4 in MVP talk. Guaranteed. No way DeRozan is in top 4 candidate for MVP.
You asked me if he's in top 4. He's better than AD. He'll be better in the top 4. He'll be over MVP candidate voting over AD.
Oh yeah. By the way, I'm sitting here. I totally forgot about Luka. We got Luka.
Luka, and you got Ja Morant.
And who's the other guy? Not Jokovic, who's by the way won the last 2, hasn't he?
Yes.
So yeah, there's no way DeRozan's gonna be top 4, bro.
And no way Tatum is either.
Yes, he is. Yes,
Tatum's not better than any of those guys you just talked about.
I hate so much that you're making me fight for Tatum because I hate him. I cannot stand him. And I'm sitting here saying, like, bro, come on.
He's not going to be better than the guys you just talked about.
Tatum will be in the MVP candidate when it's all said and done. Yes, they will.
AD's not even going to play 70 games, 65 games.
That might be an accurate statement, but Tatum will definitely be top 4 MVP candidate this year.
Look, one game into the season, and we've already spent the last 45 minutes on the NBA.
So let me just say, I think the NBA's the best it's been in the last 15, 20 years. I'm excited. Every team, every night is going to be fun to watch. And as much as I say, look, the Warriors are going to run away with it, or the Celtics are clearly that much better in the East. Any team can win in a 7-game series. We know that. Injuries happen. People have off nights, whatever happens. So we can sit here and say it's going to be Warriors Celtics finals again, but we know anything can happen. And it's going to be a fun season. It's going to be a fun season to watch some basketball this year. Do you agree?
It is absolutely. You know why? It's because the younger players are starting to come into their own, be the MVP candidates, be the faces of the NBA, and the old guys, LeBron, are phased out. And it is what it is.
LeBron still got another couple of years left. Bro, so I'm not going to lie. I'm watching the opening night game, and LeBron and Bronny have this Beats commercial, and I flipped out. I was like, let's go. Let's go. Because I want to see Bronny and LeBron play on the same team. You know how dope that would be, father and son in the NBA? That's never happened. I want to see it.
It probably will happen.
LeBron's going to play another 3 years. I'm almost positive of it. He
probably will.
I think he gets at minimum 23 years. And just think about that. The man has played 23 years in the NBA. 23 and is still at 20 years an MVP candidate.
Dude, every player in the NBA is an MVP candidate after one game.
Come on, bro. Don't do that. Don't disrespect my man like that. Don't disrespect the king. The king, LeBron.
His biggest problem was leaving South Beach. Actually, it was leaving Cleveland. He never should have left Cleveland the first time.
Left South Beach. But now, here's something. Okay, here's a hot take. LeBron gets traded away from the Lakers this year.
Yeah, I can see that happen.
And he ends up in one of 4 places. You ready?
Golden State.
Nope. 4 places. Here we go. You ready? Across the arena to the Clippers. I can see that happening. Cleveland. That's always a possibility. Miami, because he's made amends with Pat Riley. Him and Pat are good again. Come on, LeBron LeBron would be the difference maker on this Miami Heat team. 100.
LeBron's not a difference maker in the AAU. Like it's
Are you? You are such a hater. I can't even talk to you about it no more. You just said LeBron's not even a difference in the AAU. How disrespectful. I ain't never been so disrespected on a comment ever.
And you grew up in North Carolina. You should be you got Carolina blue.
And I'm a Tar Heel fan.
You got Carolina blue.
I have a Tar Heel tattoo.
Exactly.
No, LeBron all day, baby.
Walking flip-flopper.
All day. Flip-flops, baby.
This is pretty funny. LeBron had been in the league 20 years. His forehead 27.
Facts. And his hairline. Oh my God. You will never find a hairline like mine.
Yeah, you know what? If and I'll tell you this, if anywhere LeBron gets traded, I think the number one destination is the Garden and for the Knicks.
He's never going to play for James Dolan, worst owner in all of sports.
Dude, it's about playing at the Garden.
I get it, but I get it. But you know what? Speaking of owners, let's talk about this real quick. Let's change lanes. Let's talk some NFL talk.
Yeah, our owner's back.
Owner's back, and owners meetings have happened. And rumor has it that Jerry Jones and Dan Snyder, who was it? Jerry Jones and who was it? Was it Snyder? Jerry Jones supposedly said "F you" to somebody yesterday.
Rob Irsay came out and was talking about that there's substantial evidence to proceed with.
Jerry Jones and Robert Kraft had heated exchange. And Jerry Jones told Robert Kraft, F you.
Because Kraft just got married this weekend to a 22-year-old masseuse.
NFL voters voted 31-1 on Tuesday to permit their compensation committee to open negotiations on a new contract with Commissioner Roger Goodell, but not before the two leagues' most powerful owners, the Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones and New England Patriot owners Robert Kraft, engaged in a heated exchange, league and ownership sources tell ESPN. The sources said Robert Kraft joined the overwhelming majority in strong support for a measure, with Jones the lone dissenter in the owners only session, eventually telling Kraft, "Don't F with me." Kraft replied, "Excuse me." He said, "Don't mess with me." The measure then passed, sources said. The NFL and the Cowboys spokesman declined comment. The Patriots spokesman did not immediately provide a comment from the team. Interesting. First of all, do you like Roger Goodell? My first question.
I don't have an opinion whether I like him or not. I will say that he's brought he's moved the NFL into another realm of entertainment and made a lot of people a lot of money, namely the owners.
Do you so look, that is true. That's 100% true. Are you okay that he's going to get this contract extension and be the commissioner for another 5 to 10 years?
I have a little issue with that. I think that it's healthy. Change is good. You know, I think there needs to be different perspective, different. I think the players need better representation, and I think that falls more on the NFLPA and their bargaining power. Mm-hmm. But I think Goodell has represented extremely well, and he will get the extension of his contract because of that reason.
Do you think?
I'm not uncool with Roger. Like he's made it more fan friendly. He's done a lot of things for the fans that I think, you know, the evolution of the NFL has involved fans more, and I that's an awesome thing. You know, the NFL draft is more accessible. It's a spectacle. It's a destination, and we didn't have that before.
We did not. I'll give you that.
Yeah, the Super Bowl week and the whole Super Bowl accessibility from a fan standpoint up to the game, you know, is pretty cool. You know, we have more exposure to games than ever before. Every game is televised nowadays. It didn't used to be that way 20 years ago. So that's a good thing. So that's how the league is growing, and you've got to give Roger Goodell his props for, being in the chair to, guide all that. So, I don't have an issue with Goodell.
What do you think about Robert Kraft and Jerry Jones going at it, and Jerry Jones being the lone person voting against Goodell's tenure to stay?
Well, listen, just from Robert Kraft owns the Patriots, he can go on a one-way fishing expedition to the Everglades. Like, I hate that guy. And he's a pedophile. Like, there's so much that he stands for that I just don't.
You don't agree with and don't like. I get it.
I don't like. And it's hard to side with Jerry Jones. But Jerry Jones, you have to give him his respect for this reason. It's his company. Basically, you look at it as a company. He runs his company, and he's a very hands-on manager. And that's just the culture of the company. And it's been good for him. And he's done everything and focused.
He has won Super Bowls. It's been since the 90s, but he has won them.
Not from a lack of trying, right? The guy puts all his energy into that team.
We saw in Hard Knocks last year, him when Dak went down, like he was on the phone with the trainer and the doctor. How long is Dak going to be out for? Can he come back any year? Like, I hated to see it because I don't want my owner involved that much, but you are correct. Like, he does. He wants to win. He wants to win, right? And
he signs the checks, right?
You want from your owner. Meanwhile, we have an owner that's absentee who's never there. So, damned if you do, damned if you don't, right?
So, speaking of our owner, he's back. Does it make a difference? Does it mean anything?
No, I don't think that it does. It'll be very interesting to see. We'll see him in the owner's box this weekend. Do I think it'll make a difference in how this team is run? I guess we'll find out. I guess we'll see. People will try to correlate the two, that if the Dolphins go on a win streak in the week that, Ross comes back, Ross made this big difference, and now the Dolphins are on this win streak, and I don't think that should be any correlation.
I don't think we'll hear any of that. I just think he's back, and let the meddling begin again.
Yeah. Before we go too much into the Dolphins, I just want to say one more thing about these owners, with the owners meetings, this private owner meeting that they had. One of the things that's about to that has come out in the national media is Daniel Snyder supposedly through the media stating that if I go down, there's going to be some other owners coming down with me. Like, we're all, like, the NFL's coming down with me. Basically point blank saying, if you try to get me out of this league, I'm taking you all down with me. First of all, do you think Daniel Snyder has dirt on people? That's my first question. And second, what do you think about the owners taking to this threat from another owner?
So that is startling, right? Number one, that it's coming from Jim Irsay, who has his own heap full of issues.
Mm-hmm.
And has been under the microscope and scorn of his fellow owners for a few times. Mm-hmm. For him to come out and say that I believe that there's merit to remove this owner, that is huge news. Because in years past and generally the owners are looked as a tight fraternity, and it's one for all for one, right? And so when you're seeing a fellow owner, and especially somebody who's tenured as Jim Irsay is, come out publicly and say this. To say it publicly is a big deal. I mean, I'm sure these guys talk shit to each other behind the doors in these closed meetings all the time, but to come out and say something publicly, that's a really big deal.
It's a big deal. Here's my view of it. I think that Daniel Snyder does have dirt on the rest of these owners. I 100% think that he does. And I also am of the mindset that Daniel Snyder doesn't belong in sports. I think he should have been gone a long time ago. And to the NFL's point, I think you're to blame for some of this. You created this monster. You allowed this person to stay in a position of power and get as strong as he did for so long. And so, looking at it from an NFL standpoint, you reap what you sow, right? And he doesn't deserve to be. The league has to make a stance and say he's got to go. And if they don't, you're being very hypocritical anytime you do anything like what they did with Ross or anything. How are you not, crap? It doesn't matter. Snyder needs to go.
Well, so Snyder and the Washington Commanders are under investigation by U.S. Attorney Mary Jo White, right? So there are things I think that the NFL owners see coming down the road that they want to nip in the bud now by getting rid of Snyder. So I think the further they distance themselves from Dan Snyder, the better they will be collectively as an ownership group. Yeah, I think they're all dirty. I think of course, Daniel Snyder has dirt on all of them, including Roger Goodell. And so I think, however they can get rid of Daniel Snyder as quick as possible, I think they're going to go and try to find any way to do that.
100%. And final thing, just a little last thing on this topic. I believe the outcome of the resolution will happen sooner rather than later. I don't think we're done hearing anything from, I think we're going to get some random thing on a Tuesday or Wednesday or heck, even a Sunday. It doesn't matter. Something random will come out in the coming weeks, and it'll be having to do with Daniel Snyder and what he knows or him getting voted out of the fraternity of owners and for making him to force to sell the team, which I think they should. And I think if they do that and they make that move first, that anything that comes out afterwards, at minimum, even if it's true, they good, bad, or indifferent, right? We know he needs to go. They can at least turn it up. Oh, this is just a scorned person who's mad he's getting put out of the boys club. Are you really going to believe him? Like, they need to make the first move and just get him out, in my opinion. That's what I think. Do you agree? Do you disagree?
I agree. And like I said, the further they distance themselves from Daniel Snyder and more quickly they can do it, the better for all the owners. Because he's got to have information on him, and they're afraid of that. But it's also, the allegations that are being levied against Daniel Snyder aren't a good look for the league. It goes against everything that the league stands for. At least they do on, publicly.
100%. All right, that's Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, news of the sports world. Now let's get into this Sunday night's game. The Dolphins, Tua's returning. The Steelers, Brian Flores returns. Mika Fitzpatrick returns to Miami. What are your thoughts about Sunday's game, Cameron? What do you think?
I'm just super excited to get Tua back. I think the past 3 games have proven that this is a much different team without him under center. It's a much different offense. The execution of the same offense is much different, whether it was Skylar Thompson, who to me did an admirable job, versus Teddy Bridgewater, who, to the eye didn't do as good as Skylar, but put up really good numbers. But they didn't win. They were 0-3. And it's just not on the offense. I think the defense is suffering injuries that are just diminishing their effectiveness. The offensive line has injuries. That Teron Armstead is the linchpin to that offensive line, and you're seeing when he's out just how haywire things go. But I think they're going to play really well. I'm looking not for much rust on Tua, and I think you'll see big days out of a big night out of the offense. And Mika Fitzpatrick is, he didn't play last week and he didn't practice all week so far. So it'll be interesting to see the injury report when it comes out today.
Are you nervous for Tua Tagovailoa's return from concussion?
Yes.
What makes you nervous about it? Like, just from a perspective?
I think it's I think it's natural to be nervous. We've seen how he reacted to getting hit against the Bengals. All the hoopla and media frenzy over concussions and all the opinions and hearsay kind of naturally make you nervous. I think Sunday Night Football will be a hugely watched game, even though it's going to compete against the Yankees playoff game. The Sunday night Steelers Dolphins game will be probably the most watched Sunday Night Football game for the Tua effect. The casual fan's going to want to tune in to see if he makes it the whole game.
Yeah, 100%. And then you got Tyreek and Jalen as well. And, that'll be a draw as well.
I mean, I'm just I'm excited to see him play and see how he plays, because, if you listen to the local newscast, they're talking about how, he even said it in yesterday's, news conference, press conference, that he's got to learn how to throw the ball away. He doesn't do a good job of that. And, he always wants to hold on to the ball because, he wants to make the big play. And he is maybe understanding that you throw it away and live to fight another play or another day, because this team clearly cannot be without Tua as it's presently constructed. The offensive, game plan and scheme is tailored to Tua's strengths, and it's a big difference when he's not in there.
What do you think the run game will be on Sunday night? Because I think that's going to be a very big thing that the Dolphins need to expound on in order to be successful on Sunday night and not put the entire weight of throwing the ball on Tua and getting that established run game, even with a depleted offensive line. What do you think about the run game on Sunday night?
Listen, Mostert is nursing a knee injury. He played through the knee injury last week. He had 60% of the team's carries and had 47 yards. They need more out of the run game. So I think they're gonna, McDaniel came into the season as a run first type of quarterback, offensive coordinator, and I just don't think this offensive line is healthy or playing to the level where McDaniel can run the ball as effectively as he wants to. So I'd like to see more run. I just don't. It's confounding to me why Edmonds isn't playing more, because in the preseason he was clearly, running back one, but now Mostert is overtaking him, and I just don't understand why. And maybe McCaffrey's a trade target for the Dolphins. He certainly right now would be an upgrade if he was healthy, right?
I agree. I 100% agree. And the Christian McCaffrey thing, look, I said earlier when we were picking games, I think he's going to end up in New York with the Giants to go with Saquon. And, I think they're going to try to make a push, and I think they should, by the way. But I don't believe Christian McCaffrey will be a Carolina Panther within the next couple of weeks. I do believe he'll get traded, but I think there are a lot of Panthers that are that I believe that the Dolphins need to look at. One of them being Morton, their offensive lineman. I'd love to see the Dolphins go after him. I would.
Personally, Brian Burns grew up in this neighborhood here that I live in, Plantation, and went to school at my daughter's former elementary school. So he's a local guy, and I think I would love to have Brian Burns, but that would be a little overkill. But we just lost Trey Flowers, so who knows?
Trey Flowers is out on the IR, but he's only out for 4 weeks. He did say that he, expects to come back. Speaking of somebody on the IR or somebody who has not come off the IR, Byron, man, like, what is up with Byron Jones, and why have we not heard anything from the team about him? Because they are being hush-hush about it.
Now, McDaniel addressed it yesterday and just said he's not ready to go, and he's not ready to advance him towards even practicing. So,
and if he's out next week, he's out for the year. Yeah.
And at this point, I don't expect him to be back, right? I mean, they have to activate him and carry him on the roster, which they could do,
I would be very upset if that happened. I'm already upset now, as is, because I was led to believe he'd be out for 2 to 3 weeks, and they put him on the 4-week IR because that was just better for him. And now we're into week 7, and he's still not back yet, and there's no timetable set for him being back. So I feel like I'm kind of being lied to, from the team, or not being lied to, but just they're not being transparent about him, and I don't know what it is.
It's not. I don't think it's a transparency issue. I mean, McDaniel came out yesterday and said he's not healthy enough to practice. Like he's not healing. At the timeline that they expected. And I couldn't agree with Batman more. Like, I think he's seen his last snap as a Dolphin. I wouldn't. Yeah.
Really?
I said that before the season started.
You did, but I didn't believe it.
Yeah, it's just your best ability is availability. The guy is not available. If he's not available, it's time to move on. Listen, it's time. If it's time to move on, it's time to move on. The next week and a half will tell us everything we need to know from what you just said.
Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Hey, hit the like button. Over 100 of you watching, only 47 likes in the building. And I'm reminding you guys, if we get to $500 in donations today and tomorrow, I will do a giveaway to anybody. I will pick one random person who donated, no matter how much you donated, to an autograph giveaway, courtesy of ZSM Sports. So please donate to the channel. If we get to $500 today and $500 tomorrow, I will pick one random person who donated on each day an autographed item courtesy of ZSM Sports. So please donate to the channel, help the channel grow. We're trying to do big things. We can't do it without your help. So make sure y'all can, even if it's $1, it goes such a long way. Please donate to the channel. It's a big deal. Cameron, let me ask you, Flores coming back, do you think that'll have any impact on the defensive play calls, or will it have any impact on the field whatsoever tomorrow night?
I don't believe so.
I mean, Sunday night.
Not from a defensive standpoint, the Steelers' defensive standpoint, because it's a totally different. It's a new coach. It's a new offensive scheme. It's totally different than what he was managing while he was here in Miami. So I don't think it'll have much bearing from that perspective. I think the bearing it will have is Tua's play and how aggressive he is in putting the ball downfield and scoring points. I think Tua, this is his statement game on national TV against his old coach. And I think Tua's extremely motivated to embarrass his
old ball coach. Out to embarrass him and make him
100%.
I don't deny that. I think you're onto something there. 150%. Who do you think all three quarterbacks will be active this Sunday, or will it just be Teddy or Skyler or both?
It depends on Skyler, and they have to, it depends on Skyler and his thumb. But I would assume that all three are active.
I would assume that as well, 100%. And do you think, from Pittsburgh's standpoint, do you think it'll be Trubisky or?
They already announced Kenny Pickett starting.
Kenny Pickett is starting. Okay, all right.
Which is crazy because he was in concussion protocol, right? Like, how do you start the guy after you announce that he's healthy and ready to start 3-4 days after he was sidelined with a concussion? Like, it's so hypocritical.
Again, I go back to the NFL. I just don't think the NFL understands what to do, and it's a case-by-case basis. And because it was the national game of that Thursday night, I think that we just have a different eye on us from a perspective of the NFL. Do you agree?
I agree. I mean,
good, bad, or indifferent.
It's a case-by-case, situation. I think it's very difficult to have a uniform protocol when everybody's built different. Hits are different. Everybody has different symptoms of concussions and recovery rates. And so it's really difficult to put a uniform standard in place. I think it will get changed for better or for worse. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm excited to see Tua.
Me too.
I'm excited to get this team a win, bottom line. Like, we need it. We can't be losing 4 games in a row.
I was about to say, let's get into that. So the Dolphins sit at 3-3. We're in last place in the AFC East. We're sitting above. We're looking at the Jets. We're looking at the Patriots. We're looking, obviously, at the Bills, who have lost 1 game, and that was to us. What does it say if the Dolphins win this game? They go to 4-3, right? Yeah. And there's 7 or 8 teams currently sitting at 3-3 in the entire AFC at the moment. And I think we're a lot better team than our 3-3 record claims to be, but we need to win on Sunday in order for me to feel a lot more confident in that statement. Or at least have something to put it behind. If the Dolphins win on Sunday, is it a statement of this is a better team than 4-3, and this is what happens when you put a guy like Tua in? Or is this Pittsburgh's a bad team and we should have beat them no matter what?
Both. We should beat them no matter what. On any given Sunday, but statistically and on paper, like the Dolphins should beat the Steelers. We do get our QB1 back, and that's extremely important and impactful to this game. We go to 4-3, and we're right there. Like to me, it's I'd rather be rolling with Tua at 4-3 than Zappy at 4-3, right? Like a rookie quarterback. So. Who do the Jets have this week? They've got they're in Denver, so the prospects of them losing are pretty slim. The Bills have an off week; they've got a bye. The Patriots are playing Chicago, so just to keep up, it's a must-win in my eyes for the Dolphins.
I agree. I 100% agree. All right, Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show. If you want to get on and ask Cameron and I or question or ask it in the chat, you can put it in right now. I'm going to put it in the link here in the StreamYard link. You guys can get on. You can ask us a question, and we'll go from there. Hit the like button, donate to the channel, help the channel grow.
I got a question for you. Currently after 7 games, right, we're 4-3, right?
Yeah.
Tua still got Tua still has, or we're 3-3, so this game 7. After 6 games, Tua still has the highest QBR for the season
in the entire NFL. I know.
In the entire NFL. Does that happen? Does that remain the same after Sunday's game?
Yeah, 100%. Tua is going to have a big game. I believe he is. I think we win by 10 plus points. I'm not ready to say we're going to put up X amount of points, but I believe we're going to beat the hell out of Pittsburgh. That much I'm ready to say. And to me, that's 10 plus. We put up 10 plus points. We did. We are the team exactly who I think we are. And that means I think we're one of the best teams in the entire NFL, let alone the AFC.
So the AFC, you got the Bills at 5-1. Everybody else has at least 2 losses.
I know.
So
we're in it. Like we are in it.
100%. Like we got to win this game.
And we are. And if we do, I firmly believe personally that we're going to win the next 5 on the contingent that Tua is healthy. If Tua is healthy, we win the next 5. I'm confident. I'm very confident in that.
Stating the obvious here.
Yeah, we're saying the obvious. How about a 50 burger to the Steelers 20? Canes 1989 said, I wouldn't be bad at it. Y'all know if we throw up any 40 burgers, I'm up here the next day eating a burger.
So let's talk about that. Like we talked about just a few minutes ago, how this is kind of like, we don't want to say a revenge game, but it's kind of a show out game for Tua. He's returning against his old coach who, there's no love lost there. They could put up some points and really stick it to Flores on national TV. And that would be a statement. 50 would do that. 40 would do that.
I'm not ready to say we're going to put up 40 points or 50 points. We've only done that one time this year with the 40 points, and that was in a comeback game against Baltimore. I firmly believe we have the capability of doing it. Don't get it twisted. And I think that Tua is the guy that can help us do it. But look, I also understand people that are like, go back in our history and show where we've done that. I could show you week 2 in Baltimore, but my personal thought is I can believe something or see something all I want, but if the Dolphins don't prove it, it's just me talking words. And I've been talking a lot of words the last few weeks, and I'm okay with admitting that. I understand that. I firmly believe the Dolphins are one of the best teams in the entire AFC with Tua Tagovailoa as their quarterback. When they don't have that, I think the team has a totally different mentality. You go back and look at the last 3 games, Cincinnati, New York, and Minnesota. Those 3 games, all 3 of them, the Miami Dolphins were in the game till 9 to 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. They were there. They've given up an ungodly amount of points in the fourth quarter in the last 3 games, and that says a lot about a lot of different things, right? And a lot of them has to do with either interceptions, turnovers, and it has to do with momentum of the game turning, and the others, and then the team just all the air. It's like air going out of a balloon. It combusts, right? And so that's what I believe has happened over the last 3 games. And I believe that if Tua was there, just like he was in Baltimore, those things would not have happened, even on those interceptions or fumbles or anything like that. I think the game would have turned out to be different. Now, it's easy for me to say that. And again, I can believe that, and that is what I believe, but there's no proof. There's nothing to back that up except my theory and my belief in something. But I believe that the second week proves to me that we saw what Tua did in Baltimore. You don't think we would have had a shot to do that in Cincinnati? You don't think we would have had a shot to do that in New York? You don't think we would have had a shot to do that in Minnesota? It would have been a totally different game. That's what I believe. There's people that don't believe that, and that's fine. You're entitled to your opinion. But I don't believe we'd be 3-3 with Tua playing all these three last games. I think we'd be 4-2 or 5-1. Maybe undefeated. You know? I think we are one of the best teams in the
I would say 5-1. I say the Jets beat us regardless.
I don't believe that. They put up 40 points against us. I'll give you that. But the tide did not turn till that interception in the fourth. That's when the tide turned. Actually, it didn't turn until actually, that's not when it turned. The tide turned.
Missed field goal.
Missed field goal. Exactly.
Right. And it snowballed from there.
Correct. And I think that Tua, you make Tua sound like Jesus. No, I don't make Tua sound like Jesus. I just believe that Tua is somebody that's more important on this team than we lead him on to be. We need to understand as a franchise that a quarterback is everything in the NFL. And by the way, it's not just the Dolphins. You go look at the entire NFL right now and tell me that quarterback doesn't make a difference. Tell me it doesn't. And I'll show you where it does. You know? That's what
110% makes a difference. That's why Tyler Heineke's winning in Washington this week.
Oh, my God. All right. First person we got up here is Todd. Good morning, Todd. How are you?
Morning. You know, if Buffalo lost their quarterback for 3 weeks, they would have the same record we did. Jets would be in first place, unfortunately.
I don't know about
that. You look at their backup quarterback. Do you really think they're going to be putting up the numbers when it's all on him?
Probably.
They don't have a run game.
Probably not.
But no, I agree with you. We would be at least 5-1, I think. And that's what breaks my heart, man.
I believe that with all the injuries we've had at the secondary and all the injuries we've had on the O-line, and the reason I think that is because we were still, even with Skyler and Teddy, we were still in those football games with 9 to 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter in each of the last 3 games.
And actually, the tide turned right before the field goal when our undrafted free agent dropped that pass that would have been a first down, and we would have been down around the 25-yard line.
Well,
and then we missed the field goal right afterwards.
So this brings up a good question because you see what happens in New England, right? So Mac Jones is the named starter. He gets injured, and Zappe has come in and played better than Mac Jones. And so there's one example of the backup quarterback, displacing the starter and doing better. We're not going to talk about what happened at Dallas because it's a different situation in my eyes. So did you go back to Mac Jones? Because that question's on the table.
I don't know what they do.
I don't think
Mac Jones is basically, a rookie plus 2 games.
Hey, look what Dallas has done with their backup quarterback too.
Yeah, but that's not the same because their backup quarterback has been there for 5 years. And
has been an MVP of the league.
It's a little different in my eyes because, Cooper Rush has been in that system in that.
Yeah, that's true.
Back,
But Zappe's playing better. That's a controversy right now.
100%. And what's Mac Jones anyway? Was he a first round pick or a second round pick?
Yeah, first round pick.
Yeah, so that'll be an issue, right?
I'm looking at us going at least 4-1 in our next 5 games. Hopefully 5-0. And
we have the capability of going 5-0 with a healthy Tua.
Yeah,
correct.
We do.
But see, with Tua in there, we feel confident we could win any game that we go into, and so does the team. You look at the receivers. The Jet game, I think we would have had I think we would have been blowing them out at halftime because all those passes that were behind the receivers would have been on point. You know, we saw a lot of passes go behind Tyreek Hill, go behind. Those would not have happened.
And that is a huge point in why this offense is better with two under center because
Same with Minnesota.
With his time, because of his timing and accuracy of his pass, he leads his players, his speed players, to yards after catch, right? Where at a greater percentage than what Bridgewater does.
Yes, you know, he could see the play happening before it happens. He could place it right where he wants it, and that's what you want in a quarterback. The anticipation is just incredible. And I'm sorry, but his pocket presence is better than both of our backups. Think about the Jets, that fumble. You know, he knows that. And Bridgewater, he would spin into sacks. You don't see that happening with Tua. Tua steps up in the pocket, not trying to all the time spin around and make a play in the back.
I don't disagree with you, Todd. I don't, man. Todd, is there anything else you want to say before I bring on the next person?
I just want to say you all enjoy the Pittsburgh game, man. I'll be tuning in to watch. I love watching your pregame show.
I appreciate that. It's good stuff.
You know, the tailgate, fins up. Take care, buddy.
Love you, Todd. Appreciate it. Hey, Todd is correct. If you guys are not able to join in the festivities, you can join virtually and online right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network on the Tail Greeter pregame show. We go live 3 hours before kickoff, and we end an hour before kickoff. So if kickoff's at 8:20, I believe that we'll probably do 5 to 7 or 5:30 to 7:30, maybe. I'm not sure, but in the 5 o'clock hour, we're going to start this Sunday's pregame show. All right, without further ado, my brother from another mother who I love very, very much, who looks very disappointed in the back, who is shaking his head, Mr. Clangin' and Bangin' himself, Mr. Von Joe. Good morning, Von Joe.
Good morning, Stephen. Good morning, Cameron.
Good morning. How are you? Von Joe, are we going to see you on Sunday? Are you coming?
No, Saturday is my son's birthday. He's turning 10. So
what's more important, your child or the Dolphins? Where are your priorities at, Von Joe?
Well, since my family loves me more than the Dolphins, I'm going to go with my family because we know this team don't love us. But okay, Stephen, I need you to stop recreating narratives and rewriting realities to make yourself feel better. If it helps you sleep at night, I get it. But
what are you talking about?
So who's our QB1?
Tua Tagovailoa.
All right. Tua Tagovailoa, whatever his name is, is our QB1.
Yes.
So as our QB1, we are 3-3.
Correct.
How many games did QB1 start?
3-3, Cameron. It doesn't matter
Joe,
how many games. No, don't give me that. Don't give me that.
That's reality, Bonjo. How many games
he started 4.
Right. And what's their record with him as a starter?
3-3.
As a starter, Bonjo.
3-1.
3-3.
3-1.
As a starter, Bonjo.
Oh,
you just said yourself he started 4 games.
3-1. Yeah, 3-1.
All right, thank you.
But at the end of the day, as our QB1, he is 3-3. Point blank and simple. Yes, he is.
He was inactive.
His availability accounts for everything.
You're full of shit, Von Joe. The team's record
How is that full of it? How am I full of it?
Because the team's record is 3-3. Tua is the difference maker that we're just talking about. He didn't start
correct. You are correct. You are correct. He is a difference maker.
The team's record is 3-3.
You are correct. He is a difference maker, and he is part of the team. And his ability to be unavailable led us to 3-3. Facts. These are facts. We could try to rewrite the story.
You rewrite the story because the guy was not on the field. No. If he is on the field,
why wasn't he on the field? Was he a healthy scratch?
Listen, you play with the players that are on the field. The record is indicating players on the field. No. You cannot.
Was he a healthy scratch?
You're full of it.
Because here's the thing: if we have a quarterback that sit there and can play all 17 games, are we 3-3? If our starting quarterback is all healthy.
We just said so, but you play with the players on the field, Von Joe.
Okay, guess what? He can't stay on the field. So as our QB1, we are 3-3.
Just go ahead and put it on his record that he gets a loss for the game he didn't even suit up for.
Cap for Life, who's been a member for 10 months on the channel. Thank you, Cap for Life. With his 10-month chat says Tua's injury and Waddle's fumble cost us 3 games. Simple as that.
Tua's injury, exactly. Because you hear the Buffalo and Todd comes here, and I like Todd, but he comes in here and talks about, you know, what would the record be with in Buffalo? They'll probably be 3-3 if you know, Josh Allen. They don't have to worry about that.
But it's the same thought.
They don't have to worry about that. But we have to create this alternate universe. We have to go sit there and start jumping timelines.
It's the same mental process you were just using.
All right, so
No. I'm not using a mental process. I'm using just reality that Tua is our guy. He can't stay on the field, so he's 3-3.
This is our reality. We're using the same logic.
No, this is our timeline that we on. I'm trying to stay on our timeline. You guys trying to be like Mark.
No, Joe, you just threw Todd under the bus for using the same logic.
It's a logic that shouldn't be used.
Hypothetical.
They don't have to. No, there's no hypothetical. There's a whole lot of hypotheticals in the world.
Man, please.
I'm going off what we see and what we are doing and what is reality and what are facts.
Let me ask you a question. Were the Miami Dolphins not in the game with 9 minutes to go in the last 3 games?
Yeah.
Okay, they were, right? Though, and 2 of those games were started by second and third string quarterbacks, correct?
All facts.
Okay. All right. So we have to understand that even with backups, this team competes up until the last 9 minutes of each game, right? They compete.
Okay. I'm with you.
And
these are facts that we saw.
Okay. We also understand that when we were down 21 points in the fourth quarter with Tua, we came back and scored 28 points in the fourth quarter with Tua.
That's a anomaly and a fact that happened one time. Okay, keep going.
It happened, right?
It happened.
So my
theory, Tua hater, Bonjo, is just coming out of your ears.
Call me what you want.
My theory, my logic is that if Tua was in the last 3 games playing, and I understand he wasn't, but if he was, I truly believe the Miami Dolphins, those games would have ended differently. Would they?
Bonjo, what we're saying?
If that would be your hypothesis, by all means, you could go ahead.
It would make a difference. That's what we're saying.
You could exactly. He could have made a difference.
The Miami Dolphins are 3-3.
Or the result could have been the same. We do not know.
No, but I do believe they would.
Xavier Howard is not 3-3. The Miami Dolphins are 3-3.
Exactly. And guess what? Our Miami Dolphins with Tua as QB1
will win.
We're 3-3.
Well, you know what? From your perspective, Byron Jones is 3-3. And that's
him too. He's part of the team, right?
Man, you're so full of shit, Bonjo. It's not even funny.
What? Is he not part of the team? What are we talking about here?
Because he didn't impact the record. He didn't impact the game. He wasn't.
He did. His impact was not being on the field.
No, it's the roster. It's made up like it's
his unavailability. No, hold on. His unavailability impacts us because at the end of the day, Cam, if he was going to be unavailable, we could have got another player to be available.
It's all right, Albano.
His unavailability impacts us. I'm looking at the grander scheme of things.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you this. Tua comes back this Sunday. What do you think this Sunday is going to look like for the Miami Dolphins with Tua?
I have no clue. But I'll give you a built-in excuse. He's rusty. We could go ahead and put that built-in excuse already.
No, I'm not. I think the Miami Dolphins are going to win, and I think they're going to win big on Sunday, and I think Tua is going to be the big reason why.
All right, and if we lose, what happens?
I'll come up here and I'll be wrong again on Monday. But I don't think that's going to be the case, guys. I just don't. I
don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know. I don't know if he's gonna be gunshot. I don't know if he's gonna be. Hold on. Let me just. I don't know if he's gonna be gunshot. I don't know if he's gonna be rusty. I don't know what the old line's gonna look like. So I don't know.
If Tua, has 3 touchdown passes, no interceptions, a QB rating over 100, and the team loses, what are you gonna say?
I gotta see what else happened during the game.
Exactly. It's not just Tua. It's the whole.
But again, Cam. I know it's not just Tua, but at the end of the day, everybody keeps saying if we would have had Tua, we would have been 3-3. Is that what you guys just been talking about? We would have been 3 or 4. We would have been 1 more games.
I would have. I think we would have. I think we would have won in Cincinnati, and I think we would have won against Minnesota.
If we would have had them, right?
I personally think we would have won in New York. But
so again, Cam, you guys just been for the past 30 minutes. If we would have had them, we would have had them. If we would have had them,
He would have
won
on the field.
And
right?
I'm saying, guess what? We do have him. He's on our bench, or he's unavailable. So the reality is 3-3 with
the
him.
team is 3-3.
Roadrunner, I'm not
Oh,
wrong. I've been wrong the last
for the love of
2
God.
Mondays.
The team is 3-3, Vonjo. It says that in the standings. Period.
Exactly. We are 3-3 with that with Tua. I get you.
That's it.
Roadrunner says you just fan out, Steven. It's okay because you're always wrong on Monday so
And
far.
this is what I'm saying, Cam. So what's wrong with what I'm saying? Why are you saying I'm a Tua hater?
First 3 Mondays, I was right.
Because
I want to know why Cam say I'm a Tua hater, because I'm saying that he is our QB1.
Because we're up here saying that he would have impacted.
You have been very critical of the team over the last couple of weeks.
He would have impacted.
Whoa! Have I not read? Whoa! You sit there. You put context to what my criticism, because I have all the right to be critical of this team. No, exactly. And you have to. And go ahead and tell me, do I have the right to or not?
You do. You have the right. You have all rights.
Okay.
But I don't.
No. Don't say I'm being negative. I'm being critical, and I'm pointing out facts.
Not as critical in the first 3 weeks. You weren't this critical the first 3 weeks.
Steven, how's our O-line?
We sat
Steven,
there.
how's our O-line?
Laws.
No, Steven, the pack
laws, and we watched that Bills game together. And
Exactly.
you said, and I quote, "This team's a lot better than I thought it was." I can't say nothing. This team is good.
And what else did I say?
You told
What else did I say? Did I not say we have some holes?
You said that. So by that logic, if Tua's out of the game and we've lost 3 weeks in a row without Tua, then Tua's the X factor. He's the guy. He's the guy that makes the difference.
Oh my God, we're talking in circles, because at the end of the day, yes, he is making a difference. And right now, his difference is that he's not available. And tell you the truth, I don't even know if he's going to make it through the rest of the season. So that's another question we have to ask.
Okay, and we all understand that. And I said my caveat is with Tua healthy, this Dolphins team is going to be almost unstoppable. They're going to be
We
that
could have
good.
said the same thing last year, Steven. If Tua was healthy, we would have made the playoffs.
We didn't have
for more win.
what we have.
What are you talking about? So hold on. Tua last year missed 4 games. If he would have played those 4 games, we don't win 1 extra game and make the playoffs.
It's totally different personnel. Cause dude, we
okay then. So it's not Tua then. So it's not Tua.
Hold
on. No, based on your logic, it's not Tua.
Over 700 yards and Jalen over 500. What else do you want?
So Steven, based on your logic, it's not Tua then. It's the offense. No, go ahead, my guy. Steven, I'm going off your logic.
Gets us over the hump.
Steven, I'm going off your logic. You sat there and said.
And according to my logic, we were still competitive with Skylar Thompson and Teddy Bridgewater. We should have won those games.
Steven.
But X factor is Tua. And Tua's the one
that Steven, last year, follow me, all right? Last year, Tua missed 4 games. We missed the playoff by 1 game.
Right.
So you telling me if Tua would have played those 4 games and been available those 4 games that he sat out, do we win at least 1 more?
Yes, of course, 100%.
So what are you arguing with me for? What are you arguing about?
We're saying the same thing.
The offense. Exactly. Guess what? But our reality that he's going to be unavailable for games.
I don't think he's going to be unavailable.
So if we miss the playoffs by one game again this year, if that happens, guess who I'm blaming? Our injury-prone QB and his ability to be unavailable
for an entire season.
If we miss it by 1 game, guess what? Hey, it is what it is. This is the bed we lay in. Our guy is not durable.
I'm not going to argue with that logic. That logic.
Hey. Exactly.
Like the best ability is availability, right?
Exactly. So what are we arguing with before? What are we talking about?
This team is 16-8 with Tua, right? All we're saying is that this team would have been in a better position to win with Tua as a quarterback the last 3 losses.
Or if we would have got a quarterback that could play all 17, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
So, like I was thinking about this the other day, Vonjo. Concussions, I think, are different than like a knee sprain or an elbow or shoulder injury, right?
Mm-hmm,
so it's something that is takes time to recover from. That if you're softer, like if your ligaments and muscles aren't tuned up and in coordination with each other, if you're not in good physical shape, that's one thing. And so if you're kind of a feeble, muscle structure, more injury prone, right? But the concussions are concussions. Everybody's got that issue. And so it's hard for me to put Tua in that injury bubble, like where you call him, you know, in a glass case because of his concussion. If he had injured his shoulder, if he had been whipped to the ground and had a separated shoulder, then you could call him soft. But I don't think you could say that because he had a concussion.
But I think, hold on. But the thing is, his size probably led to that. Because the thing is,
the guy is your size. He's 6'1", 215.
I know, but hold on. And I probably would have got a concussion too if a 300-pounder was throwing like that. But here's the thing: Josh Allen is what?
He's what, 6'4" and 240.
Exactly.
You know what, Lamar
Tom Brady is what?
6'6" and like 178 because Giselle like locked him out of the house.
Justin Herbert is what?
I think he's 6'6" and 200. But what's Lamar Jackson?
I don't know, but he is.
He's 6'15". He's actually an inch shorter than Tua.
But he's quicker and he knows how to fall. I don't think Tua knows how to fall that good. But anyway,
that's a great
but
point.
at the end of the day, those guys, it's when if they would have got pulled down, and we see them take those same hits, but because they're heavier, it doesn't have that much of a slingshot action that Tua had.
No, I think it was the situation for that in that Bengals game.
That's physics.
Like, what are you going to do when the guy is 345 pounds? The guy that tackled Tua and slung him to the ground goes 345, and in the combine he ran a 4.78. Like that's a lot of momentum, right? And he didn't slam into him. He took him by the waist and turned him around, and Tua, because of that momentum, you know, braced his fall because of the momentum with his back of his head. That's how he got concussed. So it's not. But Cam,
at the end of the day,
dude,
you know,
Herbert
injuries
went down in the Sunday night game. Herbert went down because he got hit on the shoulder. Did you see that?
That guy's a tank, by the way. I ain't gonna hold you. He's a tank. He's a tank.
Agreed.
But I got, again, the thing is, Steven was like, it's a new injury. All his injuries are new injuries. It's never the same injury. That's the thing that really gets me. It's not the same injury. It's always a new one.
What injury besides the concussion has he had this year?
No, the concussion is the only one the back. He had a tight back.
But he played through it, right? Like he played.
And they said the pass that came up short was because of his back, because he couldn't get a full torque on it. So they say. That could be another excuse. I don't know. I don't care. At the end of the day, he's not there. And it's a new injury.
And when we go, listen, Von Joe, like after the 17 seasons this year, and if we have the same conversation, then I'm 100% agree with you. It's time to move on.
Wait, after the what now?
After this season. Like we need to see Tua finish this season. Like he's got no more. Like if he gets injured and misses, 2 or 3 more games this season, then we got to move on, right?
Oh, your rat's off a ship as well.
Listen, I agree.
No, Steven, I mean, you can't, but I respect Cam for saying that because it is what it is. You need your guy there.
What gets hurt again that's not concussion related, then by all means, I'm like, all right, this is.
I don't care if it's concussion related or not. If you get hurt again.
And now, let's listen. Now, the concussion is part of that conversation. If he gets concussed again, he's not playing again this season, and we're shit out of luck. Like,
exactly, I'm off you. I'm done.
Start calling Lamar's agent right away.
I don't know. Listen, Steven, you like roller coasters? I maybe that's why you want to stay on there if he gets concussed or not. I don't care what I don't care what the injury is. It could be a hangnail for all I care. If you got to miss games, I am off you, my guy. I am done. I want off this ride. Please put me down. I don't want to get on it no more. You can have my. I want my refund. I want everything. No, I don't want it.
You're not getting a refund.
Steven, I don't disagree with Vonjo one iota.
Because I can't take another you missing games. No, sir. No.
Nope. Earlier, and now you guys are 2 peas in a pod. How dare you?
It's what we do, man. We're brothers.
This is what's called a mature conversation, Steven.
This is healthy. This is healthy arguments.
Healthy conversation. This is healthy. Oh man, Monjo, I wish you were coming, man.
Listen to
I wish I was coming too.
Crank Yankers. That's an awesome reference, Cap. Like none of these young guys understand what that is.
I wish I was coming also, but man, I can't make it. It's my son's birthday. We have people coming into town.
You're missing one hell of a party this weekend, and you missed one.
No, you're missing a party, Steven. Okay.
Well, no, I'm not. It's gonna be my 11-year wedding anniversary, and we're gonna be at a beach bash.
Let's let Von Joe, not get cooled down and get him back to the clan.
Yeah, thank you.
All right,
I'll let you guys, man. Fins up.
Good. Fins up. Man. Hey, Von Joe, tell the people to donate and hit the like button.
Yeah, you guys donate because Steven is giving us positivity and putting us into the alternate universe. So you got to give him. I really think that Steven stays up at night after the show and rewrites his story and comes back on the next morning and says, "How can we feel better?" So at least for that, let's donate and support the channel, help it grow. All right.
Kindness, positivity, and love.
Always, man. You guys take care.
Be good, man. All right, Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Good morning, Rashad. How are you?
Oh, snap. I don't even know where my phone is. I'm good.
What's up, buddy? How are you?
I'm good, surviving. About to start this vacation tonight.
Oh, tonight. What are you going anywhere?
LA. I was supposed to come out there for the Sunday night game, but my ex is having her breast reduction Monday, and she's a Steelers fan, so we just go watch it at a bar in LA.
Okay. That was I don't know how to
Yeah.
respond to that.
Well, listen, we hope and pray for her healthy outcome of her operation.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss those things, but yeah, you know how that goes.
Keeping it real here on Clock Blockers.
So on the show New Girl, there's a part where what's his face? What's the character's name? Max. Why am I saying Max? It's not Max. Schmidt's character is talking to his girlfriend, and she's gonna get breast reduction done, and he has like a conversation with her. Is that you? Or are you like, I'm just gonna miss you? You're amazing.
I've had my moments.
You've already had
breathed, and I've accepted
the five
stages.
Five stages.
Right.
Arguing, denial, all that stuff.
Yeah, pretty much.
Vince Doc with his $10 donation says, bending logic to blame Tua for the past 3 losses and the idea that we have to move on from Tua if he's now injury prone are two completely different thoughts.
100%.
Do you want to respond to this?
No, it's true.
It's true. It's dang true because Stone Cold said so. Yes, I thank you for the $10 donation, and I want to remind anybody who donates anything at all. If we get to $500 in donations, which we're a long way from there today, but if somehow we get it going, the train gets moving. If we donate $500 in the next 2 days, I will give anybody. I'm going to pick somebody. I'm going to put everybody in a wheel, and I'm going to pick one person. I don't care if it's $1 that you donated to get an autograph item, courtesy of ZSM Sports, a Miami Dolphins autograph item. It's going to be awesome. All right, Rashad, anything you want to talk about? The floor is yours.
I mean, I came to throw hate at Von Joe, but he cleaned it up. He cleaned it up at the end. He became logical at the end, so I couldn't get too upset. But
Michael Balco, a podcast host for ESPN, just tweeted the Dolphins are expected to trade Mike Gesicki by the NFL trade deadline.
Like how does that even make sense? Because all right, he's got 19 targets and 3 touchdowns. The guy's a red zone threat. He's a seam threat. I don't care if he doesn't block or not. He's an offensive tool that Tua likes. It just makes Durham Smith miss last game. Then you've got Connor on the questionable, and Hunter Long had the lowest blocking grade besides Little this week. Like, how can you get rid of Gesicki? That blows my mind if they get rid of him.
I don't know who I hate more, Tanner Connor or what's the tight end we drafted last year? You just said his name. Hunter Long. Oh my God, they're god awful. Trying to curse today.
But how do you get rid of arguably a top 10 tight end, like a pass catching threat, and your offense is built around quick slants, seam threats, and long ball. Like it just makes no sense to me.
It has to be for the right price.
I mean,
That's
look,
the only way I can look at it.
if the right price comes on to I think they're listening. I 100% think they're listening, but I don't think they're going to give.
I mean,
them,
everyone's available for the right price, right?
I don't think they're just gonna let them go for like a 5th round pick or something.
I think they let them go for anything second round or more, or starting help in secondary or O line. Those are the 3 things I consider trading him for. That's it. You get a second round pick or higher, or you get a starting corner or a starting O lineman. I don't think you let him go for anything less than that.
You shouldn't.
And if you get a starting player on the secondary or O line, you also need to get a mid round draft pick for him.
Like, that's not happening. Like if you get an offensive line starter, which is arguably the most sought after and most valuable position besides quarterback in the whole damn league, that you think you're going to get an additional 3rd round pick?
I said 4th.
Like, come on, bro. It'd be the other way around. You got to give Gesicki in a 3rd round for a starting offensive lineman tackle.
Wishful thinking.
Would you do that?
I'll look at it
at this point in the season.
You
like it would have to be somebody super impactful, like and young, like, and I don't even I couldn't even go down the line. But like Gesicki's trade value right now isn't as great as what you think it is, Steven.
The Packers are supposedly all in on current Steelers wide receiver Chase Claypool and will attempt to trade him before the NFL trade deadline.
Where did you read that at? Packers don't ever make trades.
Guy who made the Dolphins tweet.
Nobody's ever noticed that the Packers never make trades ever. No matter what need, they just stick with what's on the roster.
Giants wide receiver Kadarius Toney is also on the trade block.
They hate him up there, and he's a quality wide receiver. So, but we don't need a wide receiver, and we probably need.
Panthers defensive end Brian Burns is practically a lock to be traded before the trade deadline.
So, what do you think it would cost to get Brian Burns if you were a Dolphin, if you were a Greer?
I think Dolphin fans would be pissed off to go after another defensive end, though.
What if it cost you Jalen Phillips?
I would never do it.
Why?
Because they have Cedric Wilson and
I don't believe in the high ceiling for him.
Pick.
I still think he's going to have a high ceiling. I still think he's a beast. I know he hasn't proven it.
So he's picking up steam right now.
He is picking up steam.
So I think here's a trade target, and I want you guys to let me know how you feel about this. Cam Akers.
I like most.
Wouldn't cost you a whole lot.
Like
he's got a ton of upside in production under his belt. They're the McVay, like I said, it's best that we part ways with him. The guy is a between the tackles runner, something that Mostert and Edmonds aren't.
Well, look, here's the reality. Those West Coast teams and the Miami Dolphins with McDaniel, they have a relationship. Like there's a possibility that, hey, look, they're going to call Miami before they call, hey, McDaniel, do you want this guy, in the AFC? Like, if you want him for the right price, like I 100% can see any trade with the 49ers, any of those West Coast NFC teams, because of the relationship that they have with McDaniel. Dolphins would be the first team called on the. I almost 100% think that is it plausible? 100%. Do I think it'll happen? I don't know. I think we have decent running backs now. We're just not utilizing them the way that we need to. I think the offensive line is what we need. O-line and secondary help. Go after that.
Secondary help, I agree with. Offensive line, I just said I agree with that.
I think our secondary held its own last week. I think it's
we're the worst.
I think it's the pass rush.
Listen,
I think we're getting pressure, but
we're
not capitalizing.
Has Noah showed you in one game of limited snaps that he's enough to depend on moving forward?
Noah, I'll say this. Noah looked good last week. He looked
enough to depend on moving forward.
I'm just we got good last week. That's
he's going to start this week.
We got to run the
Noah
right
looked
defense.
good last week, and I
for
can't believe
Noah.
I said that.
He's
Can't
We
believe
got to
gonna
run a
start this
cover
week.
one robber, and that's that. Like, keep Javon over Noah and let Noah bump. I don't know why we don't bump. We press, but we don't bump. And that's what in college, his 1-2 years at corner, he was a press corner. He bumped, he got physical, and that's how he couldn't find the ball in college either. But that's what he does. Let him get his hands, let him get physical, throw a player off their route. He's strong. Just stop letting him just run around chasing people. It looks stupid. But he did good Sunday.
You know what speaks to the futility of our offensive line? Brandon Shell, who was just signed and was forced to started at guard and got moved to tackle and was our highest rated offensive lineman this past week.
He was? Ew. Did you watch him?
It was a 94.5 PFF rating.
There were plays where he just stood, like running plays. If it went opposite of his side, he just stood there. He just stopped. And I was disgusted because it was that one play where Mostert tried to go right and then he went back left and got tackled for a loss. Because the run was supposed to go to the right. He didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And he ended up getting tackled for a loss when Mostert cut back. And there was only one person to beat. So if he blocks that one person, Mostert is gone.
Change subject real quick. The Florida Panthers just released alternate jerseys.
Yeah, I saw them.
Oh my God, they're fire, bro.
You like them?
Oh my God, I love them. They are straight fire. I'm gonna show y'all now because it's too good not to share. I gotta get one. I don't have any hockey jerseys. This is the first. I want it. This is fire. I like it.
Let me see. Oh wow. Interesting.
I like it. I think they're fire. What would have been better if they were in the Miami Vice colors? But I like.
Yeah.
I think
it looks good in that Miami Vice.
But yeah, those were fire. Real quick, I just saw that on my Twitter and I was like, I gotta share that. Those are cool. I like them. All right, man. I got other people in the back room. Rashad, anything else before I let you go?
There was one thing I came up here for since I've been watching this week. Now that watching other shows this week, everyone is kind of upset that Tua's back. Well, not everyone, but the Tua haters. If you guys want to win, this is the quarterback that we want in. Not saying for next year. If he doesn't make it through the rest of the season, we all should jump off the ship. But if you want to win this year, why are you upset that he's back? Because his availability, he's available now. If his neck breaks, put him in until his neck breaks. I don't care. I want to win. I don't want to see what I've seen these past 3 weeks. It was god awful. Let's get back to what we were doing and get behind our handicap number one, QB1.
All right, brother. Be good, man.
All right. Y'all stay safe.
Stay safe.
Take care, bro.
All right. We got probably 15, 20 more minutes, and then we're gonna get out of here. All right, let me bring on the next person here, Mr. Mark. Mark from Bills Mafia. Good morning, Mark.
Hey, good morning, Steven. Good morning, Cameron. How you doing today?
How are
Good
you?
morning, Mark. Thanks for being patient.
Oh, not a problem. Hey, how's the offensive line doing this weekend with the with everything so far?
I mean, the rumor is Armstead's going to play. We'll see what happens. It's not official, but that's the rumor. He got the week of rest. He should be suited and booted and ready to go for this game. That toe is still bothering him, but I think he makes all the difference in the world on this offensive line.
He does. He makes a significant difference. What about Austin Jackson? You can't put that piece of trash, Greg Little, out there again.
I mean, we might be stuck with that.
Or it's Brandon Shell over him.
Well, anything over him, preferably 6 feet of dirt.
Whoa, hey, I know you're a Bills fan, but we can't be wishing,
bro. You can't just be.
We can't be wishing death on people.
Bro, come on, Mark. Like that, I don't know what to say to that, man. Like that's overboard. That's overboard. Mark.
He's got a 1.5 rating in PFF.
No, but you say
6
he's
feet of
trash.
dirt.
You say he's got 6 feet dirt over him. Come on, man. Like that's not
Go
cool.
away. He sucks. He's awful. But anyway, my whole thing is, Armstead is a definite, difference maker on the offensive line, but still, it's a lot of money spent out for a guy who averages 11.6 games, who's already missed almost 2 this year. And if that toe gets much worse, it's going to be the end of everything. And it all comes back to the moves that were not made on the offensive line during training camp by a very, very poor, in my opinion, general manager.
I mean, they did sign the number 1 free agent.
Greer's a bad GM.
Greer is a horrific GM. What have you won in his 22
Mark.
years in Miami? He started as a pro personnel director or pro personnel person, moved up the chain for some ungodly known reason. And what have you drafted that's actually, I mean, you had a few good draft choices, but what have you done in your offensive line? Nothing. You misplaced your center, who should be a guard. You didn't sign a center when there were multiple opportunities. You drafted Kinley instead of Gabriel Davis. You drafted Austin Jackson. You drafted Eichenberg over Humphrey, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. What has this GM done to make the offensive line anything? Tell me, please.
I mean,
what am I missing?
So a couple things. Number one, Greer didn't officially take over until what, 3 years ago? 2 years ago?
2018, I believe, was his first year of incompetence.
No, he was with the years before that. He was with Tannenbaum, and
Tannenbaum was making the moves. Tannenbaum had the
final. Him and Gase, they called the 3-headed monster, right? Like those.
Greer had nothing to do with those teams.
There was a 3-headed circle jerk.
Greer had opportunities to say who he thought would be drafted, and they drafted a couple players here and there that turned out to be decent. But
Deion Jordan, trash. Charles Harris with the Lions.
That wasn't him. That wasn't Greer. That was Tannenbaum.
He was involved in the decision.
No, he was not. Tannenbaum does what Tannenbaum wants to do, and if you don't watch ESPN and see that, then you're crazy.
And what do you say about your management with all these poor coaches, poor coaching hires?
What are you talking about?
Et cetera. Where is this ownership and general manager been during this disaster?
Well, let's get something straight. Flores wasn't a horrible disaster. Flores just ended up being the wrong person. He had a lot of great value, and he had a lot of great things about him that I liked. And he
that he was fired.
He had a lot of things going for him. He just did not work out here.
Let's see, what have we had? We've had the coach on the sideline. We've had bullying. We've had tampering. What has been done in this organization? You've had Gase. You've had, what was his name? Philbin. You had, it's just, come on, Steve. Admit to the fact that your owner is a clown and needs to die for your team to get better, and your GM stinks.
I'm not a fan of Ross, but I'm never going to sit here and say that somebody needs to die.
Why? Ralph, the best thing that happened to Buffalo was Ralph Wilson.
Mark, what happened to you? Well, I didn't touch Mark. My hands were right here at the microphone. I did not touch him.
I can't take that shit anymore.
I didn't touch him.
You can't be calling for somebody's death on the air. Come on. And he's back. This guy's trolling us, Steve.
Mark, you can't be saying that, bro. Let him back on.
The best thing that ever happened to the Bills franchise was their owner dying, and Pagula's taking over.
Kick him off.
Mark, we'll see you after.
But I'm not wrong.
Mark, go jump into some tables. We'll see you after bye week. Jesus Christ.
Oh my God. You can't say that.
Mark needs to take his meds.
I just want everybody to know that Mark is the very first time I ever kick somebody off without a donation or a vote or anything.
And Mark's been generally a really good guy.
Great guy, usually. You just went overboard today, Mark. I couldn't do it.
Dude, he just went off for no reason. You can't be talking about 3 people he wished death on.
I know, bro. You can't do that, bro.
He's just mad because we beat him. You're right, Mansa.
That's what 0-4 in Super Bowls goes to a person.
Let them have it, chat. That was uncalled for, man.
Nick's already drinking too much. Mark, which one of your GMs put together a Super Bowl winning team? Oh, I'll wait.
Oh my Lord! Yeah, he's wanted the perfect season. He's mad that we're celebrating this Sunday.
Man.
Hey, someone in the chat, let's switch it up. Ask real quick before we leave here, or before I leave. What would be the comp trade for Mike Gesicki? Like, what is his value player to player, not including draft picks?
I mean, here's a reality. If he goes to a team like Green Bay or Dallas, he's going to excel there tremendously, and he's gonna put touchdowns on the board. He's gonna zoom into top 5 stratosphere of tight end in the NFL. And because of that, I know that, and I know this, and I think the team knows this. So my hope is that they get a starting caliber offensive lineman or secondary person of not just some backup. I'm talking about starter. I'm talking about legit starter. That's what I need for Gesicki, to feel like I got something comparable for him, because I know he doesn't work well in this offense, and I know he just doesn't. And the only reason that he worked well last week is because they decided to utilize him as a wide receiver and not a tight end. Let's get that straight. Those touchdowns, he wasn't in tight end set. He was standing up.
No. The second touchdown, he had his 3-point stance. He had his hand in the ground.
Okay, well, that's one play.
He's had 3 touchdowns.
Huh?
He's had 3 touchdowns this year,
and 2 of them came last week. And a majority of his catches last week, he was standing up. He wasn't sitting.
No, the second one, he was put in motion. The first one, he was put in motion. The second one, he came out of the 3-point stance. He had a chip block, ran the seam, did a little curl, and the ball was on him.
Well, he might as well have been a wide receiver. He was not playing tight end.
But regardless if he's a wide receiver, he's a traditional tight end. He's
not a traditional tight end. He's a wide receiver.
I said regardless, Stephen. Like regardless of what you what kind of label you put on him, he's an offensive threat.
100%. I'm not denying that, but you
don't take that off here. But you don't take an offensive threat. Like you don't take a bullet out of the holster when you're in a 6-shot war. Like it's not.
So right now we have Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, right? 2 of the top 5 wide receivers in all the NFL, right?
And we don't have shit else.
I disagree with that.
I just think
we haven't had anybody to throw to.
Gesicki's number 3. Who else is better than him? Craycraft?
I mean, you're not wrong. I can't argue with you.
Cedric Wilson, like that guy's like talk about Will Fuller. That guy's taking our money and he's healthy. Ingold?
I can't argue.
And you can't say Mostert or Edmonds, who's dropped 2 touchdowns in the end zone. So it's Gesicki is your number 3 receiving threat, regardless of where he lines up. You don't take that off the roster.
I don't know. All I know is that if I can get a starting offensive lineman or a starting corner or a secondary help, I consider trading Gesicki. That's how I view it. I understand what value he brings.
Like if I would say if Durham Smythe and Hunter Long and Tanner Connor were playing better or gave you confidence that they could at least be a viable parts of this offense, but none of those 3 have proven that. Hunter Long was horrible last week in the first extended duty he had in the field.
I already told y'all, I think Durham Smythe is the best tight end, traditional tight end on this team.
That may be true, but he's not a scoring threat, and you don't take scoring threats off a roster. You find a different way to trade for offensive linemen or a secondary help.
Who else do you have though, Cameron?
Cedric Wilson.
He hasn't done anything.
Draft picks. Like Cedric
There's
Wilson.
somebody that's worth trading for. That's
I would say to a team like Chicago that's wide receiver starving, that Cedric Wilson, you'd trade him.
And are you going to get a starting offensive lineman or a starting secondary?
You're lucky to get a 7th round draft pick back.
I understand. So like that's not worth it then.
So it's your first. You get a couple of Cedric Wilson with a 2nd round draft pick or a 3rd round draft pick.
Do you? So let's say we win the next 5, or we win 3 out of the next 5, right? And we're sitting. Let's say we win 4 out of the next 5, and we're sitting at 7-4, right? That's what our record would be if we won 4 out of the next 5, right? We're sitting at 7-4. I did that math right? 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. If we win 4 out of the next 5. And we realize, hey, look, we can make a trade here before the trade deadline. Do you not go out and get a starting offensive lineman or a starting? Like, I think if we win the next couple, you have to consider bulking up the team in those 2 areas, and you have to realize that you might have to give something up for them. And Gesicki is somebody that you can give up for it.
Is anybody Tyler Moton? You said Tyler Moton would be somebody that Carolina.
He wouldn't be a starting caliber, but he'd be somebody that I think
start for Carolina.
Yeah, but he probably would start for us. But I'm not giving up Gesicki for him. I think I would give up a draft pick for
him.
Then
who else on an NFL roster it would be available for you?
I don't think there is any.
There's not much else out there.
There's not a lot that's out there. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I'll give you that, And this, should we trade for McCaffrey or Akers? I mean, the names are nice. Don't get me wrong. It's cool to talk about it, but
Akers comes a lot cheaper. And listen, Tyler Moton's a good NFL starting.
If we got Moton, I legit think Miami I would be so happy if they made that move.
It would cost you. I would say it would cost you a 1st round draft pick.
No way. Get out of here.
For a starting caliber who's ranked 11th in PFF.
All right. Tyler Moton. All right, hold on. Tyler Moton trade scenarios. Rumors. Somebody has up here, the first thing that came up was Tyler Moton for Cedric Wilson.
That ain't happening. Like, you got to include the 2nd or a 3rd if that's your deal. The guy's 22 years old, right?
That's Taylor Moton. Been saying Tyler. I'm looking up different things.
I'm just listen, Color. I'm just saying, like, who else is an offensive, produces in this offense right now? Like, you can't tell me anybody is producing more than Gesicki outside of Waddle and Tyreek. Like, it's just, for me, like, if you're able to get somewhere like Taylor Moton, and we don't even know if he's available for Gesicki, like, you run to the phone, right? Because that's a steal in our eyes. But, you're not going to trade off. I mean, look what Laramie Tunsil brought from Houston when we traded him, like 3 first-round draft picks. And I'm not saying Taylor Moton is worth, Laramie Tunsil's compensation, but it's not far off.
So they have Taylor Moton's best spot as the Tennessee Titans.
Like, and so it would take, a high draft pick to get him, at least one, probably a 1st and a 5th, something like that.
So do you think that the Carolina Panthers are just going to clean house? Do you think they're going to be like, we're just going to get rid of everybody and just start from scratch?
They fire their head coach.
Deep Renegade. Look what.
Say what?
they fired their head coach and their defensive coordinator. So yeah, like, and CMC is out the door in my eyes. Like, he's probably his value is probably not going to be higher in terms of what they can get back.
Hey, Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers. We're about to wrap up here. Donate to the channel. If we get to $500 in the next 2 days, I will give away a autographed Miami Dolphins item courtesy of ZSM Sports. So please donate to the channel. Help the channel grow. Can't grow without your help. 114 of y'all in the chat. Only 16 of y'all liked. Hit the like button. Tomorrow's going to be Spread Kindness Friday. Because you were up here today, I guess you're not coming up here tomorrow. I don't know if you are or not.
Who, me?
Yeah.
I'll let you know tonight.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe Cameron will be with us. If not, it'll be Spread Kindness Friday. Already have some things in the work, and I fly out tomorrow night with the missus. So I will be in town late Friday night. And then Saturday, we will be doing the Beach Bash in Hollywood Beach at why am I having a brain fart about the hotel?
Somewhere down there in Hollywood Beach.
Yeah. Somewhere in Hollywood Beach. But it's going to be good times. I'll retweet it. All that fun stuff. What are you looking forward to most this week? Oh, Trucker Sean with the $20 donation. Thank you, Trucker Sean. I appreciate it, man. Let's get it off. Come on. Can we get to, that's 20. Can we get to $100 in donations for the day? That's $31 in donations today. That's $70 more to go. If we get to $100 in donations, I'll give away an autograph item today too. To anybody who donated today. If we get to 100 today. And we get to 200, I'll give away 2 things. Let's go. We're in Hollywood Beach. Don't do Twitter. Riptide. The Riptide Hotel. That's where it is. The Riptide Tiki Bar. They have like a tiki bar out there in right at there. That's a small hotel next to the Marriott, which is where I think a lot of the people are still staying. So I'm staying right behind the Riptide at one of those beach motels.
On the beach.
On the beach. I stayed there last weekend. It wasn't great, but it wasn't horrible either. I spent all of, anytime I slept, that was the only time I spent in the room.
All you needed for, brother.
Yep. We're in Hollywood Beach. Riptide Hotel. Donate to the channel, guys. Come on, let's get to $100 in donations today. What are you looking forward to most this weekend? The tailgate or the beach bash or the game?
I'm definitely looking forward to the tailgate and putting on a show for everybody. It's going to be just an incredible time, and we're going to have a lot of great food out there. The atmosphere is going to be electric. It's a night game, which is always fun. It's Miami. People party down here regardless of where it's at. It's going to be a fun time. We're going to be running close to a nightclub out there. So we'll see. That'll be fun. I am also looking forward to the game very much so, and seeing just how Tua performs and how this team performs with Tua back under center, and how this how the offense changes with Tua back under center. So we'll see.
It'll be good times. It will be good times. Hey, look, if you enjoyed the show today, share it. Let people know. Only 689 views so far this morning. Can we get over 1,000 views today? Come on, hit the share button. Tell people about the show today. We talked everything. We talked NBA. We talked NHL. We talked, Miami Dolphins. We talked NFL picks with our girl Tamaris from F-Boy Island. This was a great show today. Throwback Thursday. We talked all-time greatest, all-time games between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Miami Dolphins. We didn't even get into Dan Marino and that Pittsburgh.
Save it for tomorrow.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Hey, real quick, the injury report for yesterday was pretty telling, and we'll be seeing the Thursday injury report come out for the Dolphins here any minute now.
What was on yesterday?
Armstead, Cross, and Ingram, Emmanuel Agba, and Christian Wilkins did not participate.
Were they listed as probable?
No. Agba and Wilkins did not participate, which is new, and those are new injuries. Wilkins a hand injury, Agba a back injury, and then we had pretty much our whole starting defensive backfield on there in limited participation. Zach Seiler limited. Durham Smith hamstring. So, and Greg Little, Achilles. So he had full practice, but he's on the injury report. So it'll be interesting to see what the injury report says today.
It will definitely be that. Want to remind you guys, hey, if you donate to the channel and we get to $100 today, I will give away an autograph item. But if we get to $500 in the next 2 days, I will we'll give away a big item. So make sure y'all donate to the channel, help it grow.
Donate, help it grow. I mean, we've done an amazing thing, Steven. You've done amazing over the past year and a half with the show. We've got just close to another big threshold in your subscriber.
Almost 10,000 subscribers. Please subscribe. If you are not already subscribed, tell your friends to subscribe. How do you do that? Well, here is the link. Let me put it up here. This I'm about to put it in the chat right now. It's also in the description below, but here it is in the chat. Subscribe on YouTube. Take that link, text it to 10 people. Can you take what I just put in the chat, copied it, and text it to 10 people right now? I'm serious. Take what I just wrote. Subscribe on YouTube. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Send it to 10 people. Say, hey, can you please subscribe to this channel and like it? Like, those things help. If all 90 of you sent that to 10 people, come on. That's 900 people. That puts us over the threshold.
That's right.
So do it. Do it. Do it now.
Do it.
Get to the chopper now.
Good show today, Steven.
It was, man. I had a lot of fun. I hope you all enjoyed it too. It was good stuff, man. It is Tua time. Tua returns on Sunday. It's going to be a lot of fun. If you want tickets to the tailgate this weekend, tell the people how to get tickets, man.
Hey, man, download that Tailgreeter app on your pristine Apple device or that shitty Android device. It's free. It's free either way. Trucker Sean, tell him what a good time we have out there. Andrevius, all those good guys come out every week. It's a fun time. But download it. Search East 32 Dolphins Tailgate after you download it and just follow the prompts and join us. It's always a good time.
It is going to be a good time. And I'll remind you guys, if you need tickets for this Sunday's game, a great place to sit.com is the place to get them. They have the price you see is the price you get. And if you give them a call at 954-989-7979 and use the code word DWA, you get 5% off your tickets. And let me tell you, ticket prices are going up for this game. So if you get your tickets, get it now at a great place to sit.com. It's going to be good stuff. All right, I had a good show today. I hope you all enjoyed it. Cameron 954. Cameron, tell the people where they can find you on social media, man.
Cameron 954, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Search East 32 Dolphins Tailgate for Facebook and Instagram also. And East 32 Fins Tailgate on Twitter.
Hey, Miami Sports Music everywhere except Twitter, where it's at MIA Sports Music. And obviously follow me at Stephen D SKPL. Spread kindness, positivity, and love. And that's what I would tell y'all. Tomorrow, Spread Kindness Friday, right here on Clock Blockers, home of the #1 Miami fan morning show, right here on Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. LeBron is better than Jordan. I'm just letting y'all know. Peace out and hair grease. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
Peace, love, and hair grease. MJ forever.
Cause you put on a show, but the young man up in the whole city know. Time to catch all the blessings, cash out on investment, ball out, don't choke. Fins want all the smoke. Chris Gregg gave hope, coach flow like spoke. Dan Marino still a GOAT, but to a man on go. Watch to a man throw, watch to a man scope. Watch to a man disrespect that we never ever seen before. Fins up, let's win. Boy, I'm ready for a ring. Maybe 3, 4, 5, 6. It's damn week, use 10.
I know the whole city riding. A little early, it's a bit surprising. Business moves, now we enterprising. Switch it up, now we improvising. Go to get in the winter column. Whole squad been trained to go. Vince for life, we throw the foe. Singing this just to welcome bro. To a time, to a time. Time to grind, time to shine. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time.